Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spawncast episode 211. We're missing Sean and we're missing Max. Max is out. I don't know, he's doing something. He's out somewhere. And I think Sean went over to his grandmother's house for the night. So they'll be back next weekend though. But we still have a bunch of stuff to go over because we have that RE Village demo come out. We had some sales numbers, which are pretty interesting. And there was a lot of talk and debate about Nintendo and some of their older franchises, as well as the idea of a new Mario Kart. So I figured we'd have some fun tonight and talk about some of that stuff. But we do have a guest tonight. Our guest is Nakat.
Yo, what's going on, everybody?
By the way, Nakat's horrible at Smash Brothers. I beat him all the time. The guy's just pretty mediocre.
You really sure you want to push that narrative in front of all
mediocre at Smash Brothers?
You really sure you want to push that narrative, man? I can show you a thing or two.
No, it's okay. I've already beat you enough, man. You're good. It's good.
I'll let you believe that tonight.
No problem.
Then we also have MVG, who's playing around with the RTX stuff over there.
What's going on? Great to be here. Thanks for having me on.
It's an interesting effect. Blurs out the background. I'll have to play around with that too. I've never tried the broadcaster studio thing, so maybe I'll try that out.
You don't have a background though. No one will be able to tell.
You've got an RTX card, don't you, John?
Yeah, I have an RTX card on this PC, so maybe I'll try it out too.
You gonna blur out that pretty purple? What are you gonna do?
I don't know. I can blur it out more. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, it's interesting just the effects, because that's just one of the effects. I know it does other stuff too, right, MVG? So
yeah, there's all sorts of cool stuff you can do with it. But dude, it was the first thing I'd set up when I got the new graphics card. I was like, I got to try this thing out because I've seen it before and everyone else is using it. So I was like, I got to try this out.
Okay, I'll check that out. Then we have Miss Click.
Hey,
let's go, Miss Click. Good to have you on.
It's good to be here. Mm-hmm.
And we got Jordan. Jordan French. Jordan, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Jordan's searching for a Game Boy Advance disc for his GameCube. So
they're so expensive.
If you have one for under $100, let him know.
Yeah, please. I need the Game Boy Player discs.
I bet you we could probably find one at Too Many Games for a good price if you don't have one by then. We could do some bartering, talking, see if we can find one. See what we can do. And we got OJ from Player Essence. What's going on, OJ?
What's up? Just for the people in the chat that are gullible, I'm just joking with Nakat. He's a pro Smash Brothers player, guys. I'm just joking.
Wait,
I'm not serious.
Wait, they couldn't tell you were trolling?
You gotta be careful here, okay?
It's bad.
The other day they were accusing me of being racist because I said Paul Konerko looks racist. They're like, you can't say that.
He does.
That doesn't work.
They're like, how dare you say that?
Nah, you're good, bro. You're good, man. It's all love.
He does look racist, by the way.
Maybe a tad bit, maybe just a little bit.
Then we do have Nate the Hate. Nate's with us tonight. How's it going, Nate?
Yeah, I'm waiting for the fight of the century to begin. Right now, I'm watching Snoop Dogg smoke some weed with Steve Urkel for some reason. Very confused.
Okay, sounds like a Saturday over there. Then we have Evan. Evan monitoring the chat. Keep an eye on everything. Very cool. Very cool. All right. So did anyone get a chance to play the RE Village demo? I might as well talk about that right away.
I wish.
Yes.
Okay. Nate did play it. What? What do you mean?
No, you have to start with 2.
Well, she should play at least 7 before playing 8.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what? Same character.
But it's just the demo. The demo isn't. I mean, it's character and all this. Yeah, but I mean, the demo is just a 30-minute thing.
That's the one really in the mansion, right?
What?
Or
right,
no,
we can't talk in the next 10 minutes.
You can play the demo.
Perspective. It'd be a cool perspective to watch you play them all in reverse order. So you can watch the story,
totally.
like why are we here, and then just go back and find out the whole story.
That wouldn't upset people.
You can play the demo. Click. It really is just them just kind of showing off some of the mechanics in the game anyway. But visually, it is pretty impressive. It just came out at 8 o'clock. It came out an hour ago.
Oh, what was the thing that people were playing before with like the lady they want them to?
Oh, that was the maiden demo, and that was legitimately that was them like seriously just showing off the visuals. Like you just walked, you didn't do any combat or any of that. You just literally walked around and looked at like pretty objects and stuff. This you actually did some puzzle solving. You interact with some characters. They had some story set pieces, and there was some combat. So they tried to just at least get you introduced to it.
Gotcha.
Okay.
How much combat would you say was in this?
Like a minute worth.
It's not
things, and that's it.
Yeah, there's like one field you run through that does have some Resident Evil 4 vibes. I will say that. So they kind of have that in there right now.
I'm very happy.
But like the enemies you were fighting felt much stronger than you. Like there was a bit of a struggle there because you only have so many bullets, and they take a lot of shots.
Yeah, and they're pretty agile.
Yes, they'll like sidestep, and again, it felt very much like Resident Evil 4, which I liked. It was pretty cool.
They're quick with their blades. They're pretty aggressive.
That was the vibe that I was getting when I watched the presentation. That it felt kind of like RE4, like first person or something like that. Like which looks good. The Mercenaries mode looks dope too. You know. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's gonna be really cool to go through that kind of the score attack mode and like compare it against other people. And they're gonna have like perks that you pick up as you go through.
I like the upgrading in the game. It looks like it's like they were trying to get a little bit more action based. I know the demo doesn't have. I'm still downloading it. But I'll check it out tonight. But I'm definitely more interested in this game than I was Resident Evil 7 because I don't like Resident Evil 7 much.
Why don't you like Resident Evil 7? I thought Resident Evil 7 I'm a big fan of the entire franchise, but I actually enjoyed Resident Evil 7. But I hear mixed opinions on it from a lot.
I'm not the biggest fan of first person, Ari. You know, unless it was like I played like the Dead End games back in the day. Yeah, I thought those were kind of cool for what they were, but I'm just not as big of a fan of first person RE. But I think that this one, with the upgrades that they're doing and what they've improved with the gameplay, I think I'll be a little bit more in tune with this game than the last one. So
that's reasonable. Yeah, well, the shift to first person kind of like threw a lot of hardcore fans off at first, but I think Resident Evil 8 is going to be something special just from seeing it and even playing the little visual demo, because I also got RE4 vibes from it, and that's my favorite in the franchise.
So they put you outside of the castle and all of this, so you're kind of going through the village part, and I mean there's a lot of build up as you're going through it. They do try to like get the story going a little bit for you with some set pieces. So visually it's super impressive. If you have like an OLED or a nice TV that you can drop it on, put it on there. And apparently the audio, like I was just playing here on my monitor to go through it pretty quick before this podcast. Apparently the audio experience is good through like the headphones they have, or I guess through your TV speakers. I know that they were trying to push that, but get like some nice headphones, and apparently they'll have all kinds of cool effects going on. So Nate, you're going to try that out, right? You're going to try to hook up some nice headphones and see how that all sounds, because you stopped like 5 minutes in.
Yeah, I got to the field and I was like, all right, I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to charge up the headphones, the 3D, what are they called for the PlayStation 5? Pulse headset. Yeah. I was like, I'll charge these up. I'll come back after the podcast, really immerse myself in it. So if this is going to be like an okay game in terms of length, I think there's going to be a lot of good set pieces like they have in this demo. So I am looking forward to this game quite a bit after the demo. It's the complete opposite of Balan Wonderworld. All right, from what happened there,
that's a low bar, my guy.
You guys couldn't tell the game was going to be good from the beginning. I mean, I could have swore that based off of what we saw, the game was going to be amazing.
Yeah,
saw, right?
But like the demo for that just turned everyone off. This demo, I think, just makes the game look even better. So like, I'm really excited for this game to come out now, and we're gonna get more demos. Which it's still strange the way they're doing this demo thing. Like, if you got to release a chart for your demos, I feel like you overthought it a little bit. Like, I know they do the one-shot demo because they did it with Resident Evil 2 and they did it with like 3, but they obviously have their deal set up with Sony to where they're putting it on PlayStation first, and then we'll see Xbox and Stadia and stuff get it too.
I mean, that part I can understand. What I don't get is, why is the demo that's available today only available for 8 hours? You can play through it once, and that's it. It's a really weird handling of it. It's either Sony didn't pay much for this, or Capcom really wants to limit how many times people can go through this segment. And if you could still cut it off at the same point. It's just you want to go a little slower. You want to explore. You want to.
I'll admit, I was running. I was like, all right, I can't go over there. I got to keep going. I don't know how long this demo is. Now I know how long it is, so I can be like, all right, if I technically wanted to go back through it, I know like how the events I have to go through to get to the end, so it doesn't just cut me off in the middle of it. But like, I mean, I went through it and it tells you your time and all this at the end. It took me 25 minutes, so I still had like 5 minutes to spare, and I felt like I was going through pretty quick. Like, I wasn't stopping and looking, because you go in some of the houses and you could look around corners and obviously look through drawers. And I was just like, okay, I need the screwdriver. There it is. I'm not looking at any more drawers. I'm going. So it was pretty quick. I felt rushed going through it. And like you said, it's gone in what, 7 hours from now. So you got to basically play it tonight, and that's it. So
but wait, just pull your CMOS battery out and then turn your clock back, and then.
Well, then I won't be able to play any games.
But you put the battery back in, and then reset your clock.
Put the battery back in and reset your clock. Yeah.
All that work for a game that's coming out in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to grabbing it. I think it's going to be a very, very good game to get the releases going this year. It's been a slower start for some of these two next gen devices this year, so I'm looking forward to getting some of these big releases like that going. But it's certainly one everyone should be checking out. I think Max
60, John. That's what they said on the chart. Is it at 4K 60?
I left ray tracing on, which I mean, I guess you can. I guess it would have looked better on the OLED as opposed to this monitor here. But it's 4K, and I think it's like 60-ish if you have ray tracing on. It's kind of
45 frames per second.
45, yeah. It's a very weird frame rate, and it fluctuates still there. I feel like a lot of people are just going to turn ray tracing off, and like there's one scene with a bunch of fire, and it's like, okay, I kind of see it, but
I mean, it sounds like they've just uncapped it, right? And the average frame rate they're getting is around 45, so that's why they put 45 that's what I think. Yeah, because you can't VSync at 45 frames per second. That's not something that you can do. So I think that's what they do. I think the weird thing that I saw on that chart with all the different systems and the frame rates was the Series S didn't have 60 on it, and
that's weird.
The One X does. So I feel like they need to figure something out there for that one.
Yeah, that feels like an optimization problem on their end. And one thing I didn't like about the chart, and maybe they'll patch it in later, for even like the Xbox Series S, just give me a 1080p 60 frames a second with ray tracing option for all platforms.
Yep. I agree.
Yep. So you can play this demo on the PS5 or the PS4. So whatever, basically any of the PlayStation systems. So either way, people should check it out and see what they think of it.
Looking forward to it, man.
Yep. And I'm sure we'll hear from everyone again next weekend about it, because there will be another demo next weekend at the same time.
For everybody else, right? For everybody this time. And
oh no, it's gonna be PlayStation again.
Okay. I was so confused during that stream, man. I watched the whole stream. I was confused.
Next week we get the castle. Then the week after, so May 1st, it's on all platforms. It's 1 hour. It's both sections.
So I'm gonna be playing it up until the podcast starts, basically, from like 8 to or 8 to 9 then. So that's the plan next weekend, is to try to play through this next half-hour demo for the podcast. But it's definitely something to check out. I guess they want to do demos every weekend to keep the releases going and the hype building up to this game. So Capcom's been hyping it.
When's the release date again?
May 7th.
May 3 weeks?
Yeah, May 7th.
It's like really, really close.
Yes. Yeah. 3 Fridays from now. Yeah. Because next Friday we have Nier, and then we have Pokemon Snap and Returnal, and then we have RE Village. So yeah.
Yes.
Do you feel like the bite-sized demos work better than something that reveals too much?
That's a good question. I mean, it is nice to have something to look forward to every Saturday now, I guess, until the game comes out.
I kind of like them because they don't really, spoil the game at all.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like, they give you a taste of the game and the engine and everything, and some random scenario that they put you in. But like when you play the game proper, the demos don't even like factor into anything. Like they don't mean anything.
You know who's doing demos right? Like right now though is Square. Square is doing Square Enix. They're doing some of the best demos, because even like Outriders,
Alan Wonderland.
Alan Wonderworld was a good one.
But like Dragon Quest, they give you the first 10 hours of the game to play, and then you transfer your stuff over. Outriders, you had like a good portion of the beginning of the game to play, and then you transfer your stuff over. I like those demos where you basically
those demos are really
Warriors
good.
did it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just get a whole chunk of the game, and then it just transfers over. Like I like those demos. This one is all right, but I don't think it transfers over.
I think they're trying to make it to where they don't. Capcom's kind of crazy about like pre-release stuff, like like they're streaming and stuff like that. So I think it's kind of like what MVG is saying with like they don't want too many spoilers and all that stuff like that, just because people get. I mean, Resident Evil fan base. Before I even started doing anything on YouTube, I was hardcore Resident Evil fan base. I was on the RE.net and all that, and those guys were insane about like the fan base just in general is like nuts about spoilers and all that. So I think that's just kind of continuing with what they're trying to do here. Maybe.
It's just the passion, man. It's amazing.
Yeah, Resident Evil Passion's fantastic.
I do wish
somewhat
that
low key racist, but it's fantastic. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I started around Resident Evil 5. Okay, let's just say Resident Evil 5 wasn't a great time for the community. Okay,
Dude, I don't want to see that side of the fan base ever again. To be honest, like we could just leave that in the past. You feel me?
It was in the past. I'm just joking. It was in the past. We've progressed as a community.
Definitely.
We've progressed.
I do wish that the RE8 demo was like an hour though. I think that would have been like perfect for me. I would have felt way less rushed.
Yeah, it's well, I mean, we'll see what next weekend is going to be inside the castle because it stops right before that, and then we get the whole hour-long demo. Yeah. So a lot of Resident Evil Village actually leading up to the game, which kind of makes me wonder if the game is maybe a bit longer than a lot of people are anticipating for it. So maybe it's actually a pretty long game. Do we have any Discord questions, Evan?
Yeah, we got a good bit.
Okay, let's start going through some of those. Oh, actually, let me read this because this was a larger donation from Bradley Lemons. This $50 donation saying, after the great Shenmue Live 2017, I've been patiently waiting for Sean to tell us Bushido Blade Remastered with online play is coming to Switch so he can break my heart for a second time. F that guy, even when he's not here.
Oh.
Hey, I mean, there's a whole petition for Sean to play Balan Wonderworld right now. Yeah, which Jim everyone Ryan should have signed, right? It was in Newswave.
Jim Ryan started that petition.
Jim Ryan did. Sean photoshopped his head one too many times.
That's something we can all support of Jim Ryan.
That's why I signed it for all of us.
Good job.
I covered it on my live stream too. We were
Everyone covered it. Sean even covered it.
Yeah, we all covered this. This needs to happen.
There's an update on the petition right now saying that it's a Newswave. Oh gosh. What was the? We'll start with the Discord question you got there, Evan.
What games on current gen consoles do you feel are better in handheld on the Switch?
Any RPG.
RPGs. Yeah.
You can pick an RPG and it's probably better in handheld mode for the most part. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with. It's probably that.
Indie games are cool, like Stardew Valley and stuff like that are just dope. Just portable.
Like a Hollow Knight, it's probably better on Switch. It's just more like portable friendly. You want to play that game a little more leisure.
Yeah. But I think even a game like Link's Awakening is a better experience on handheld than it is when you dock the system. It's just a better experience. It looks clean. Not that it doesn't when you dock it, but it's just I feel like that game is more of a because the Game Boy original obviously was a handheld system, so I think Link's Awakening was always a handheld game for me. So I think that game comes over better on handheld.
Nice, yeah.
Like I really like Hades.
Hades, that's a good one too in handheld mode. Yeah,
I think Pokemon Snap is going to see how that goes. When they put out the trailer, they showed that you can move it around. So I think it's going to be great.
That'll be interesting to see how that goes. Everyone just moving their switches around for it.
I'm working on a fun thing with that. I'm waiting for a part to come in so I can do something for Snap too.
Yeah, you got to do something. You got to do something for the new Pokemon Snap game, Jordan.
I have a fun idea. My first idea didn't work out, but my second idea should work as long as it's.
I would love to see a stream of that game. I mean, I was enjoying your Pokemon card stream the other day.
I was just chilling, sorting my old cards from like 20 years ago.
That was fun, man. That was great. I loved it.
Thanks for being there. Appreciate
relaxing.
Yeah,
watching the Pokemon card sorting. Yeah. Okay. What's another Discord question, Evan?
I feel like we get this at least once a month, and we keep saying no. Do you think Sony has to make a new handheld system if they want to stay relevant in Japan? I don't care to stay relevant.
Yeah, they don't. They've already shown that.
They literally cannot make a handheld that's going to make a difference in Japan or any region. Sony does not prioritize their handheld products. You're not going to have a Naughty Dog game on the handheld line, so it's a meaningless effort for them to invest in that type of product. You're not going to put the B teams on it because Sony really doesn't even have that many B teams anymore. So it's a meaningless proposition for them to even explore. Their best bet is to shift resources into maybe the mobile market in terms of cell phones with gacha games and that type of stuff. Otherwise, there's really no avenue for them.
It sounds like that's what they're going to do anyway with that job. The job listings are spotted. So I could see some of their bigger franchises have like little mobile games even.
Nate is completely correct. It makes way more sense for them to just kind of go in on mobile, unless they've got like a full hybrid plan, but they don't, and their games don't suit portable play. They make games for cinematic, bigger. Yeah. That's what their audience wants. Their audience wants that. I mean, I played Uncharted on the PS Vita. Is it cool? Yeah, but like Uncharted 4 is clearly a way better experience. It's like that's what it's built for. It's built for TVs. It's built for that. It's not built for portable play.
Yeah. We got another Discord question, Evan, before we move over to next topic, then I'll go to super chats.
What is possibly a realistic timetable for a PS5 Slim? This person's looking to buy a PS5, but they're debating whether they should wait or not.
I figure 3 years into the life of the system, we'll get a Slim.
Might be a little extended due to the shortages. It may delay progress.
That's a good point.
Instead of, realistically looking at maybe second half of 2023 or early 2024, it might just be pushed a year.
Yeah, you also want to keep an eye on AMD as they kind of work out their fabrication and everything. That's when when that starts moving down a bit further, then you'll start seeing that maybe some talk and rumors about Slims, because could Sony and Microsoft start using these kind of chips instead? And that's usually what happens. They usually start shrinking the chips and making them more power efficient. So that's around when I would start to expect to hear some rumors around a Slim, which will probably come out the following year then. So I'm gonna give it 3 to 4 years. I don't think there's gonna be a pro model though of these systems. I think this is what we're getting for 7 years.
Yeah,
a pro model.
They think so?
I could see a pro model. I don't know if it'll definitely happen, but it's possible that they could bring out a mid-season pro model that has DLSS or AMD's version of DLSS that that just locks frame rates at 60 at 4K. So it's possible they could do that, but yeah, I mean, or they bring out the 8K resolutions as they have on the box, right? So they could do that, but it doesn't seem like it doesn't feel the same way as it did when everyone was buying 4K televisions, like 4 years ago when the One X and the PS4 Pro came out.
I do like they put 8K on the outside of that box, and that system does not do 8K. That's great.
Not yet.
Not yet. That's true. It could.
Coming. It's on the roadmap.
Is it? All right. Let's talk about F-Zero, because this came up on Twitter, and I was surprised at how vocal people were online about this. This took off like crazy on Twitter. Because we had some comments from I believe it was the ex-developer, right, ex-producer on the game, who said that F-Zero is not dead. It's hard to bring back. How do you bring back F-Zero and make it feel like a full-fledged game? And I guess that will just take 2021, for example, compared to I guess games in its genre, just other racing games, because F-Zero was never a deep racing game. It really wasn't. It was just all arcadey. You just go really fast. It was basically Wipeout. And what was the last new Wipeout game we got? Like, I feel like we had Wipeout. It was Wipeout HD, because that was a
while since Sony shut down that studio.
But that was That was like a $20 game, from what I remember. It wasn't an expensive game.
Yeah, PS4 only had the digital one. Yeah. PlayStation Vita had Wipeout 2048.
2048. Yep. Which that game is probably worth more than maybe the PS4 game now, because it's on the Vita. But yeah, even that, like you see on Sony's side, they haven't even like put a ton of money in. But like, I don't know, Twitter, everything blew up on Twitter about F-Zero, about wanting this. And I made a joke about it, but everyone was like real serious about getting F-Zero to come back. So I was trying to figure out, okay, how do they make F-Zero now? What do they do to make this work?
Just make the goddamn games. Don't overthink it, Nintendo. Just, you have a great IP that it's admired, it's loved, it's cherished. People want to see it. Just make the goddamn game. You can either port the GameCube version, bring it forward, and add some really cool quality of life enhancements, or come up with a new game. It doesn't have to be a blockbuster AAA. We have to think about a different way to bring F-Zero to the fans, because we've already tried that formula. Just make the game. I mean, it's not hard.
My thing with the F-Zero stuff is I love F-Zero GX on the GameCube, one of the best racing games
it's very good
ever made. Is the vocal outcry that we're having for F-Zero's comeback that we saw this week similar to what we had with Kid Icarus Uprising? Is this just a very small group of people being vocal, and if the game does come, it's going to sell 750,000 copies, and Nintendo's going to sit there and say, you all didn't shut up about it. We brought you the game. You again didn't buy it.
When we're going to learn about that is going to be when Metroid Prime 4 comes out.
Yes. That's a great point.
Or 2D Metroid.
Or 2D Metroid. That's a good point. Because
how did Samus Returns do?
Yeah, how did that sell on the 3DS?
It didn't do that well, but the excuses for that are, people want it on the Switch.
Yeah.
It's
Think
late,
of it.
so whatever, you know.
Yeah,
I agree with what Nate is saying, and I agree with what MVG is saying. I think that they should do something. I'm a fan of it too, but at the same time, like what I don't like are the crazy, like when we got people doing crazy comparisons down because they're angry. Maybe it's been 18 years, you know, so they're really upset. They're bringing up, well, Mario's getting new games. Like they're bringing up franchises that sell millions of copies. It's like if F-Zero sold like Mario, we wouldn't be in this position. There'd be
no questions
games.
asked.
You
Yeah,
know, but people are liking these posts. People are retweeting. People are saying, "Look, yeah, this person's right." That's what I just don't like the super cap when it comes to it. If you want something that's cool, but stop with the comparisons to franchises that are selling way better, as if that's not the reason why. Right? It's like, sales. It's not because they can't.
Yeah.
That's a byproduct. If F-Zero sold, this franchise would be. We'd have more. Or if the merch was like Kirby, because Kirby's extremely popular with merch and like T-shirts, all that type of stuff. If it was like that, then F-Zero would be around, but it's not. So I think that's the thing that people need to focus on. It's not about. I don't personally think it's much about sale, or much about like ideas. More as like the sales are just not there. F-Zero GX is the best F-Zero game ever, and it sold worse than like all the other ones, almost all the other ones, right? I think
I played it for the first time last month, actually. Like that was my first F-Zero game ever. I do think that the Nintendo Switch does have the ability to potentially carry that game in sales, though. Like, especially if they launch it, it gets a lot of good feedback and it catches more attention to the general public. I think the Switch being as big as it is alone will actually end up boosting the sales of F-Zero if they do decide to try to take that game.
I hope so.
I think the Switch could help elevate the sales of a title like an F-Zero GX HD if priced correctly. F-Zero GX and HD, you probably cannot slap a $60 price on. You have to come in cheaper. You have to come in at like $39.99.
Don't get people expecting $40 or something like that. You know they're going to
position that you have to position F-Zero at a more affordable price.
I would agree, but I also at the same time I think it'd be interesting to see how Smash has impacted the advertisement for even just Captain Falcon as a character in general.
Absolutely.
For the F-Zero, because it's been how long at this point and how many people I'm not gonna say it. I'm just saying I've realized there's a whole community that likes Captain Falcon way more than I ever thought someone could like Captain Falcon. I think you guys are freaking weird. No, I think it would be interesting to see after all this time if for sure people are just being outraged over it and they don't end up buying it themselves. I mean, I personally I would love to cover those games as well.
Me too.
Look. It's okay that Nintendo doesn't make millions and millions of dollars on a game, right? Like not everything has to sell 5 million. Look, F-Zero is probably not going to sell anywhere close to 5 million. Might sell 1 million, right? But that's okay, isn't it? Like why? It's the Sean Layden thing again. You know, the Sean Layden quote, like that he said, right? Yeah. Why can't we just make this game? Why can't we make another Star Fox game? These games that were beloved, you know, on the GameCube, on the N64 and everything. Yeah. Some of them have just been pushed to the side, right? Because, you know, Nintendo's done the marketing and they've decided that they're not really relevant anymore for whatever reason. But it's okay to take risks again. And I think they should start looking at these and start trying these things. I mean, they may be surprised about, you know, the response they get for some of these games. I think it's worth at least giving these games a shot, you know, on the Switch. Because I think, honestly, the Switch is the best platform for some of these games. And I think they really need to give them a go.
Definitely.
So where would you rank F-Zero then? Like, because like people have like tiers, I guess, for some of like these different franchises. Like, obviously, it's not like you said. It's not a Mario. It's not a Zelda. Nothing like that. It's not Splatoon. The Splatoon's up there too. The big, really at this point, the three for Nintendo because they have them as their marketing is like it's Splatoon, it's Zelda. Legend of Zelda and it's Mario. Those are the ones they put up there.
Animal Crossing,
yeah. Well, I mean, do they even use the Animal Cross any of the villagers in like their marketing? Because I see the Inkling. I guess you could say Isabelle, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but like
Isabelle just got a Build-A-Bear release.
She did. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I mean they had that marketing where they had the Nintendo logo up and they had 3 characters right walking across.
Yes.
Yeah. And were the 3 characters?
There's Inkling.
It was 4 characters, right?
Was it 4? I thought it was. I thought it was Inkling, Mario, and
what was that? That was a Nintendo Tokyo, right?
Yeah. And it was pretty obvious who they were positioning as like their top characters, right?
Animal Crossing's definitely like. I guess it's more because like you make your own villager. There's not like a.
Maybe that's what it is. There's not like an obvious like this is the
Mario. Yeah, it's Mario. Mario, Inkling, Isabelle, Villager, and Link.
There you go. Yeah. So that like those ones. Obviously, those are our top tier franchises. The ones that are like, all right, these are the big ones. So like, would you put F-Zero along with like Pikmin and and Kirby?
No. Kirby is one of the most consistent performers that Nintendo has. They know exactly what they're getting with each Kirby release. F-Zero, I mean, I'd put it a tier below them.
You put a tier below Pikmin even though it outsells Pikmin games?
This is a King K rule tier.
F-Zero GX was one of the best games on the GameCube. It's ranked as one of the best games on the system.
Yeah, but we're going back 18 years. Nintendo's evolved. Nintendo's changed. Games from that era, which were niche, are now mainstream popular. Animal Crossing was nothing on the GameCube. Now look at it.
It still outsold GX. That's the funny. As a new IP, it still outsold GX, and GX was as established game. That I think that's probably the biggest problem, is that how the performance of GX did on the GameCube, considering how good the game is and how it struggled to even get to 1.5 million players' choice. I mean, that's tough, you know. And
I blame the GameCube for a lot of F-Zero GX failures. The game was very difficult.
Here we go, boys and girls. Here we go again.
It didn't have the demographic to play that type of challenging game. If it was an older based crowd that had the GameCube, that difficulty level wouldn't have been the only thing people kept reciting of, this game kicked my ass.
That's why I say it deserves another chance, because I feel like on the Switch it really could open up the to a bigger audience.
I need to see sales on this GameCube. Hold on. I need to see the game, see what they sold. Let's see.
1.5. That's what I
Okay. So all right, so F-Zero GX 1.5 million. That means that F-Zero GX outsold Mario Party 5, Sonic Mega Collection, Resident Evil, Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, Pokemon XD, Resident Evil 0, Mario Golf, Toadstool Tour, Super Mario Strikers, Pikmin, Kirby Air Ride, Rogue Leader, Soul Calibur 2, Star Fox Assault, and Mario Party 6.
Yep.
Are we sure it's that far down the tier list, Nate?
Yeah.
Because it's outselling some of these games.
Franchises got new entries.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How come F-Zero didn't then?
Because it's F-Zero. Because it's not Mario.
I think Nintendo, being the creative company that they are legitimately stumped on F-Zero.
Yeah, I said.
I don't think they know what to do with it.
They're overthinking this. Like, this is not hard, but like I think they're just, you know, they in their minds they feel like if we're going to bring back F-Zero, we have to come up with a unique, creative approach to a new game. But you don't have to do that. I mean,
I don't think it has anything to do with sales.
Yeah,
I think the existing formula is okay.
Yeah, I know there'd definitely be people who would complain if it was a port. There'd also be people who would complain if it was a similar idea, much like Star Fox Zero was kind of, you know, different elements, but there was a lot of reskinning. So I think for them, they probably would want to set it apart, you know, and have it be its own thing. But I think obviously like the demographic like we have for games such as Bayonetta, which is a little bit different than your Mario players per se. I think that they would really want something that was a hook, line, and sinker, you know, to get you really interested into it. And I think if they would want to bring it over and revitalize it, they'd want it to be a hit. I think honestly, I feel like it's such a cool universe. It's possible. But again, how much effort are they willing to put into that? Or I don't know.
I don't think they'd make it. I think they'd contract it to somebody. I think another studio
could. They could.
One of their big things, you know, we've discussed this, is they already have a hit racing game. You know, they have Mario Kart, and for them to spend resources on another one, which probably won't, but could take away attention if they're releasing a Mario Kart 9. Like, oh, here's another racer we're doing with Nintendo. You know, IP. So I think there's a lot of trying to figure out how to make it, like we said, different. What makes it stand out? Who's the crowd that they're going for? Obviously, they want all their fans to play it. They want to market it to everyone. But you know, when you put it in the store and hey, you want Mario Kart 9 or you want new F-Zero, I think most people are going to gravitate to, at least the main consumer will probably gravitate towards Mario Kart.
Do you think that them putting giving F-Zero a cameo in Mario Kart kind of like was them attempting to generate interest or see if it sparked anything?
No, I think it was just them honoring their legacy a bit. Because Mario Kart 8, we saw so many of them. We saw a lot of that crossover, Animal Crossing, Splatoon, Zelda. I think it was just them saying, hey, we kind of have another racing franchise. Let's throw in a track and a couple of karts just to, you know, bring some honor to that software that we had created.
I think maybe it's a combination. Maybe like it's a little bit of what everyone's saying here, man. Like I see what Click is saying though, bro. Like if you like bring the same thing, it's going to be limited, the scope. I mean, you can just do it for the fans, I guess, but the franchise will never grow and evolve into something more unless you try something. So they might be stumped on it. It might be they don't want to invest the money that it would take because you'd have to have dope graphics, right? If you want a new F-Zero, it's got to be like really good graphics. It's got to surpass GX, right? Wouldn't you guys? I mean, if you want F-Zero to be like big and better and all that, it has to be way better than GX. And that wouldn't be easy to be way better than GX. I mean, you have modern tech, so that's cool because I'm a fan. I played all the F-Zeros almost day one, man. I would save up and try to get them. And anytime that I played, I always had a ton of fun. But man, like they were always like the most technically advanced games. Weren't you like always surprised and like wow with how great they ran and how they looked? It was always incredible, you know? So they'd have to do something really incredible for this to actually expand a bit more. So I'm hoping they can. I mean, F-Zero GX HD would be dope, but it'd be the same thing we've been playing forever, you know? Like it really would be. So I would like to see them try something new with the franchise, but I mean, I can understand why some people would just want F-Zero GX, you know?
I mean, there's definitely areas you can expand upon, like GX or even F-Zero X. It introduced the spin, so you could take out opponents on the racetrack. Expand upon that. Expand upon the rival system that we saw in both of those games, where, you know, when you're racing against them, it's not just your rivals in first place.
Battle Royale.
Be aggressive with you.
Battle Royale.
Battle Royale?
No, please.
I'd be curious if Shinnon got involved with it.
No.
Why not? What's wrong with Shinnon?
They're
Why
like
they
6 people. There's 6 people.
But then how come they made the best F-Zero game we've had in a while?
They made a very good Wipeout style game.
It was a good game though. And you're telling hold on, you're telling me how many people made that, Nate?
I think their team is less than a dozen.
And Nintendo can't make one.
It's not that Nintendo can't. They can. They just don't believe that the resources they'll commit to it will lead to a profit.
How many copies think they need to sell? Like Astral Chain numbers?
Let's be real though. Is Fast RMX anywhere near as good as F-Zero GX? I don't think it's even close.
It doesn't have the tightness. It doesn't have the course variety.
It's not as good, but the foundation's there.
It's more like Wipeout than F-Zero.
I'd say it's more like Wipeout.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good game, but it's not F-Zero, and I don't think it's trying to be F-Zero.
Do you think that F-Zero would have as much of a worldwide appeal as a lot of the other franchises?
No.
Not in Japan.
I mean, Europe maybe.
So, as a Japanese-based company, do you really think they'd want to cater just to the West when most of their success has been from?
That might be part of it.
They're giving us Metroid Prime 4.
I mean, the last F-Zero that came out was exclusive in Japan on the Game Boy Advance. It tied in with the anime, and the anime really didn't get any traction whatsoever beyond Captain Falcon punching the guy into like a supernova.
Into the sun.
Punch him into the sun, he just disintegrated. And after that, Nintendo was like, we're done with this franchise.
They punched the franchise into the sun. They punched it.
They literally killed it with that one thing. They're like, you guys don't realize it yet, but that's the game's future.
Oh.
Yeah, they got rid of F-Zero. What else did they get rid of? Wave Race.
Star Fox.
1080.
Star Fox is super
1080. Yeah, 1080 snowboarding. I used to love 1080 snowboarding back in the day, man. It was great. On the GameCube, it was fantastic.
I still think we'll get another Star Fox before getting F-Zero. Like they'll still do something with Star Fox.
Yeah, I agree. I actually want them to put Star Fox down. I want them to put Star Fox down. Zero crushed my heart.
No,
it literally
don't put it
crushed my
down.
heart.
No, just port Assault. Give me online multiplayer.
I love Star Fox, but I don't trust them anymore with it.
Interesting. We keep going back to these GameCube games, huh?
So I know. I wish they would.
No.
They worked with Bandai Namco on that, right?
I want a Star Fox collection with 64 Assault and 0 on it.
Oh,
That'd be
no,
pretty cool.
0?
100% endorse that.
Yes.
No, replace 0 with Adventures and we're good.
Yeah, I agree with that.
No, 100%. Zero's does not need to be replaced. Zero is good. If it had standard controls, I'm telling you, it'd be all right.
Zero is a good game.
OJ gets it.
It was too familiar. It wasn't anything new or different, especially after Assault. I feel like the bar was set so differently at a highest.
It had the gamepad. That was
Assault's only.
No,
Yeah, that was
as far as, like, the way the missions were set up, the way the story was set up, the cutscenes,
little
the way
robot dog. You went inside of things.
Some of those battles, like in the free open, like those were intense. They were good.
The Star Wars battle was awesome.
Yeah. It just means the controls are just jacked. Let's just be real, guys. The controls are jacked. The controls are jacked in the game.
They were terrible. They were definitely terrible.
Jacked. And if they fix those and dude, imagine that and on the Switch screen. Yo,
they're definitely better. I'll give you better.
I could see that.
And even if you do like the motion controls on the Switch screen, that might even work better than the gamepad since you don't have two screens.
But there are better Star Fox games they can get, like Adventure.
That's one of the
I like
few
Adventures
games
way
they
more.
ported, right?
Dinosaurs in.
Well, that's a different type of game. We're talking about like vanilla Star Fox.
Yeah.
Wait, do you genuinely like Adventures more?
I was playing it the other night.
I love Adventures. I always get made fun of. I get made fun of for liking that game.
No, I liked it.
I like it too. I think it's great.
It's not bad.
I was fine with it. Oh yeah, I played it back in the day. That was the Star Fox game I had on the GameCube because that was like
Star Fox Command.
Okay, wait. Who would
What
buy
about
Star Fox Zero? Who would buy Star Fox Zero here if they fix the controls? Who would buy it?
I would buy it.
I
I'd
would.
buy it if they fix the controls. Yeah.
1000%.
You're saying no, Nikat. I guarantee you'd be like, all right, I'm going live, guys. We're playing Smash, and then we're playing Star Fox Zero afterwards.
I pre-downloaded Star Fox Zero. I booted it up, and after an hour, I just cut off the stream and went to sleep. I was so upset. Like I couldn't do it, man.
Because the controls.
Here's where I am with this whole thing. Everyone needs to buy Metroid Prime 4. All right, because Nintendo. I want to know how much money Nintendo's spending on Metroid Prime 4. All right, after everything that's gone down.
Scrapping it, yeah.
I don't. I mean, I wonder how many copies they have to sell to actually make money on the thing, because of how many the whole thing that went down before this. But everyone has to buy Metroid Prime 4.
Let's backtrack that a bit.
What?
It's not you have to just buy Metroid Prime 4. You have to buy every Metroid that comes out.
Why? What's happening, Nate? Wait, what?
4 trilogy, any Metroid that comes out, you have to.
No, wait, hold on. When's trilogy coming out?
Are you saying this is the last hurrah?
I need trilogy to come out, okay?
If you don't have the money, you still need to buy it. Mortgage your house, sell things. Everybody buy it. All hands on deck.
I need trilogy to come out soon. Okay, I gotta get off the hook on that one.
It's not going to be that soon, so you're still
well,
on that for a while.
Obviously, people need to buy Metroid Prime trilogy because a lot of people have not played the Prime games. We can look at the sales. We know that. So
I'm not gonna lie though. I feel kind of hypocritical saying like you got to buy Metroid Prime 4 without knowing anything about it because after Cyberpunk and people buying it,
it obviously has to be good. Yeah,
I would definitely say like if people are reviewing it and they're saying that it's good and they're enjoying it, like actual people who are reviewing it, not people who are sent yellow chairs. Then buy the game for yourself.
What's your problem with yellow chairs?
What's the yellow chair hate for?
It makes the game better somehow. It makes you enjoy it more.
Yeah, if a person sitting on a red chair with a green visor, don't trust that person.
Yo, no, that would be a dope chair. You couldn't tell me otherwise.
It would be a good chair, but I wouldn't trust that person telling me to buy Metroid Prime 4.
If it's good, if it comes out and it's like a mid to high 80s, low 90s, or somewhere in there, right? And it's like, hey, it's a great game for Metroid Prime. Go pick it up. Yeah, then everyone should go buy it if it's like legitimately good. But I mean, if Prime Trilogy comes out, people should buy that too because I mean that's great value there anyway. So that's going to be the biggest thing though, because I feel like Nintendo this project got out of control for them with Prime 4. So.
Yeah, they were trying to do a new thing, and then they looked at it and said,
they attempted to make a first-person shooter. That was the problem. They were like, "Oh no, what did we get ourselves into? What are we, Activision?"
One day, the full story of that development will come out.
I hope it does. I hope the beta of it, like the alpha build, comes out. I want to see what they had.
Oh yeah, what they scrapped?
Yeah, I would love to see what they scrapped.
Yeah, even if it's 10 years down the road.
I just want to see what Nintendo came up with a first-person shooter. I just want to see what happened.
Bandai Namco, right? It had to have been bad.
What was it?
It was Bandai Namco.
It was Bandai Namco.
It was Bandai Namco, yeah.
Which I was surprised about.
They were part of it. They weren't entirely.
It was part Bandai Namco.
Then like part Nintendo, right? and they were like, they tried to put stuff together and it didn't work, and they were like, "What is this?" It was like Frankenstein on the table kind of thing.
They just walk in, it's a tactics game. They're like, "What the hell's happening?"
Built in two different areas.
Well, what if it couldn't? You don't think it could have been something
Kind
as
of like,
simple
hey,
as
we're going to build
wanna-
this part. You're going to build this part.
You don't think it could have been like simply something as like, hey, we don't want this on our plate. Like, let's give it to someone else so we can work on like Breath of the Wild and Breath of the Wild 2 and all this stuff. Like, you think it honestly means that the project was going very badly?
I was going crap. I think the project was going very bad.
Because I think the division Nintendo wasn't even working on like anything like Breath of the Wild, nothing like that. I feel like it was just one of their I don't want to say like their less experienced studios, but like it wasn't like, I don't think it was like their A team who's doing Breath of the Wild, nothing like that. So they were like, yeah,
you still have Nintendo still has one key. They still have a key group that overlooks everything related to Metroid, no matter who's developing it. So they had that team working on it. Namco was working on it. Namco was working on this aspect. Nintendo was working on this other aspect. When they put it together, instead of getting a nice harmonious stew, they got what Link makes in Breath of the Wild when he just throws random ingredients and makes an unsightly blob of crap. And they're like, well, this recipe sucks. Fuck it. Retro, what are you doing?
We don't know. Phone.
You got a job.
I thought we were building tracks for Mario Kart 9. No, get off that.
No, you guys get Metroid Prime 4. If you fuck it up, you're done.
I still have a theory that Retro showed up with their own demo and they were like, look what we got. Let's do it.
Probably looks better than whatever the hell we just made.
I'm telling you. I bet you that's what happened.
Best.
I bet you Retro saw it too, and they're like, "Oh, we can't let them release that."
Which is interesting that they even went that route after Other M. I'm not trying to say that Other M was like, I don't want to get into Other M.
Let's not.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm just saying it was just interesting considering all the that happened with that game, and the fact that they didn't just go back to traditional, like, let's just make a standard, I guess, Metroid game. But then again, I think that this Metroid Prime game might be different than what we expect from Metroid Prime. I don't know if it's going to be the same. Can you do the same 3D backtracking wireframe type of deal? Like, can you do that in today's day, especially after Metroid Prime 3?
Yes.
And what people thought about that? I mean, I know it was the Wii, but I don't know. I think they have to add in some actual.
It's going to be interesting
modern
how it's going to be interesting to see how they more, I guess, modernize Metroid. Yeah. Again, technically going from like 2 to 3 and now 3 to 4.
It's got to be modern.
All right, we haven't used the Labo in a while, so we could make it VR. That's the next step. Is VR with the Labo in Metroid Prime 4. You're sitting there with cardboard on your face, pretending to blast Metroids. It's gonna be great.
Oh no,
that sounds so bad.
Oh man.
Hey, if there was a better VR setup for the Switch, it could be cool.
Labo's like 240p. It's like YouTube back in the day. Like I can't.
Better than 0p.
It's like 3G YouTube.
I can't do Labo at all. I tried to. I built the thing. I just can't do that.
After seeing Sean struggle so much, I decided, you know what? I don't have to buy that cardboard
before you buy Labo.
I just can't do that. I
open the box. All you had to do was open the box, fold a couple things, put lenses in. He's like, "This is complicated, guys. I want to play Balan Wonderworld."
It took like no, that was the robot. He made the VR thing. It was the robot. Dude, the robot had like legitimate pulleys and stuff. So
yeah, the robot was difficult.
We could expect that from Sean.
I didn't even bother with the robot. I'm like,
he doesn't know how to use rubber bands.
I mean, we're lucky Sean was able to set up a course for Mario Kart Live in his apartment.
Let's go over to some of the super chats here. Evan, you got a Discord question while I pull these up?
Yeah, we got what are each of your favorite podcasts? I guess just throw out podcast names if you got them.
I'm a big fan of
Nate the Hate. Yeah,
show.
I'm pretty big fan of Nate the Hate.
Yeah, so am I. I'm pretty
good show.
I don't like that guy. I don't. He's got like something about him. I'm just not a fan.
Yeah, well, he doesn't like you.
Yeah, I can tell. I don't think we'd get along very well.
Let me see.
It's getting spicy.
All right. Why is nobody talking about the fact that a PS4 can play a PS5 game with the DualShock 4, yet you cannot use a DualShock 4 on the PS5
Wait, what did you say? What did you say? Hold on. Wait, you said the PS4. Did you mean to say it the other way, like PS5 can play PS4?
The fact that a PS4 user can play a PS5 game with a DualShock 4 through GameShare, yet you cannot play a PS5 game
I see what you're saying.
with a DualShock 4.
Yeah, that's Sony trying to get you to upgrade to the PS5. That's like literally it. People are like trying to figure this out. They're like, what? I don't get. It's Sony wants you to upgrade. Like that's seriously what it comes down to. People are starting to realize that these are corporations.
It still would have been a nice option. We can use our Xbox One controllers on our Series X and S.
Yes, that would, I know. That's what I mean. It would have been nice, but Sony believes in generations.
Sometimes.
Like they said it themselves.
We both said this. Sometimes. Some aspects they do.
I just think that's the straightforward answer, most obvious. That's why they want you to go to a dual. And I think their other reasoning was that they were like, we want the developers who are creating games for this PS5 to just develop for the DualSense in mind. But you're right, it's weird that you can use the DualShock 4 through GameShare and not just natively. But that was a whole topic we went over a while ago with when they said that you're not going to be able to use the DualShock 4 for the PS5. I guess GameShare just kind of brought it back up again. Let me go through some super chats, starting with here it is. This is SwiftX Miles. I hope this is enough to ask, but is OJ Player Essence here tonight? That was a $5 donation.
I'm here tonight. Welcome.
There we go. Zoop says, what will you miss if a platform holder buys Square? Well, we know that Square Enix came out with a statement saying they're not being purchased. That appeared to have just been I don't know what that was, that article exactly, but they're not being purchased according to Square anyway. And they kind of had to come out and say that because their stock price started to jump, and they responsibly at least said something to stop that. But
yeah, the article said that the article was in particular saying that people were interested. There was nothing about Square Enix on their side, so it was just people are interested. Sure,
yeah,
I want to buy Square Enix too, but I can't.
What would I miss?
Buy Square Enix.
What would I miss about Square? I don't know.
I guess when you think of their multi-platform franchises, I guess it would just be the idea you'll never get a Final Fantasy game again. If like Sony bought them, you're not going to get Final Fantasy on a Nintendo or a Microsoft platform.
Would we get Bushido Blade?
No, you will not.
What if Microsoft bought them?
Then you don't get Final Fantasy on Sony.
Unless they have Game Pass.
Yes, unless they have Game Pass. So I guess if you're a single platform holder, you would miss, the franchises coming to your platform of choice. But
that's what it comes down to. Yeah, I mean, I guess so. All right, let's say it was between. Let's say it was between Microsoft, Sony, or Google. who would you want to buy? You got to pick one of them: Microsoft, Sony, or Google. All right, because those are the three that actually have, I think, come up at some point in time for some of these different studios. It's like, well, you should be happy that Microsoft bought Bethesda because, Google may have been asking something like that, right? Who would you want to buy Square then if you had to pick one?
Microsoft.
Anyone but Google.
Not Google, probably Microsoft out of the three, just considering how Sony's kind of a little bit, going against some of the smaller stuff that they do. So I think stuff like Bravely Default would get eaten. I think that's done.
Good point.
That's gone. Yeah, that's gone. Saga, stuff like the Saga of all those type of things like Trials of Mana. I don't think Sony would care about something like that.
Yeah.
I don't think they care about that. I just personally don't think they'd care about that. I mean, look at Octopath Traveler. Yeah. It's still not on PlayStation. It's on Xbox. They've got it.
Yeah.
It's on PC. It's on Switch. It's on.
As strange as it is right now, it does seem like Microsoft is more interested in Japan than Sony is. So that's probably better actually. If any of them, it was going to be Microsoft, and also they throw it on. All the games would go on Game Pass, so I wouldn't have to buy these Square games. I would actually like that because we get, they put out some interesting smaller JRPG style games, and there it is, just on Game Pass. So I guess if we had to pick one of them, which it doesn't appear anyone's buying Square right now. I guess it'd be Microsoft. This would be the one.
You can play Dragon Quest 11 on Game Pass. Is it still up on there? I'm not sure.
Yeah. Because I loaded up on my phone to check out the touch controls, which were all over the screen. But,
that's pretty crazy. You can play Octopath and Dragon Quest 11 right there.
Yeah, you'd be able to still play everything on PC, right?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be the benefit for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we have Matthew says Xbot Killer is a bot Nate made to entertain everyone.
But everyone thinks Nate's a bot that I made.
Okay, well then we have the Xbot Hunter 1.0 says Nate, you will never ever be promoted by Uncle Phil.
No, because James Avery died a few years ago, and it's very upsetting.
Oh my god.
Soup says, if vampire bad, why sexy? I think it's for the Resident Evil Village lady. Console Gamer says, guest question, GameCube or N64?
The cat?
GameCube. All right, there we go. See, all right,
Yeah.
on the right side of history. Good. Bradley says, if the great Shenmue live, we did that one. That was Sean. Zema says, oh, John, you should pull the CMOS battery from the PS5 test for DRM. You would get 1 million views. You know you want to. I could. This is the week Nier comes out, though. So, yeah, all right. Apparently, it's the same deal. I don't know if anyone tested it for disc-based media. I would imagine it's the same, though. But apparently for digital. I mean, I can do it. Like, I've beaten up this PS5 so much, I could technically do that.
So the reason why they're doing it, I don't know if I think you know this, John, but for the folks that don't, the reason why that issue exists is because it's that whole PSN Plus thing where if you have a subscription to it, you can download games and you own them. But if you give up the service, if you cancel, they don't want you keeping those games. So this is one of the reasons why the trophy thing is a problem with the battery stuff. So like they don't want you owning those games if you don't have PS Plus, and this is a result of that. So they can fix this, but hopefully they will, because I feel like there's a lot of eyes on this. There's a lot of media talking about it. There's a lot of YouTubers. John, you did a video today about it. Hopefully they'll see this and they'll come up with a solution, because they can fix this problem should they choose to do so.
We'll test it with the PS5. I saw some people trying to confirm it today online. I think someone confirmed that the digital side of things, which, I mean, most people assume that if you're not going to connect to the server, you're probably not going to play your digital games, because they typically have a check-in period for all of these different games. I did see
someone said it does happen on the PS5, but I also saw that it doesn't happen on all games, which I thought that was a little weird. So
interesting.
It would be interesting to know what happens on the PS5 if you just grab, a couple of random PS5 games and tried them.
Okay, I can do that. I have a couple of them I can pop in here and see what happens. And then we have L says, "Who's the big dog in the middle?" I don't know on my screen. It's a rectangle. Oh, okay. Nakat's channel is down in the description. If you guys want to go over and check him out, absolutely. And Tijo says, I was going to ask how RGT's Balan Wonderworld review was going, but he's not here, so I take it that's what he's doing, and we'll see the review soon. Sean might be watching now, so you can harass him in the comments.
He's hiding. Just blow him up on social media right now.
David says, so with Japan Studio gone, I guess a Patapon 3 HD is out of the question, huh? Yeah, I would assume so. I don't think you're going to see Patapon anymore.
It is.
That's such a damn shame.
Yeah. Strawman says, I wish more demos gave you a bonus in the full game if you buy it. Like the Pokemon Sun and Moon demo gave you Ash's Greninja, and the Mario Tennis Aces demo gave you Mario's Plumber outfit. Those are always fun to get items in the full game for downloading the demo. Alvin says, RE Village is top 10 on Twitch right now, and with this demo schedule, that'll be every weekend till release. Smart. Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think of like the social media streaming aspect of it.
I didn't think of that either.
That's certainly a game people would just want to watch to see how it is. So yeah, absolutely. Escape says, any insider info on Halo Infinite development hell still, or will E3 2021 save the game? 343 is always a mixed bag. That game I feel like that game has to be an E3.
There's no insider info, but this year feels different than last year. I think the game's coming, and I think we'll see stuff at E3.
They're at least talking about it, but they haven't. It's gone a bit more quiet around the Halo Infinite scene, and I think that's for the best. So they're just working on it.
Yeah, they're working on it. They give us monthly updates. Mm-hmm. We've seen new screenshots, so we have an idea of how the visuals.
Haven't seen it in motion yet, though. I will say. I haven't
seen it in motion, but
no one's left the company.
Are showing it looks promising.
The low bar has been cleared. All right, good.
No one's left 343 in a while. I think we're okay.
Know of, right? Yeah, I'm hoping it. I mean, it has to be at E3. It's supposed to come out later this year. I assume that's where the big grand reveal of it is. It's going to be at E3, and they'll probably have some really hype trailer, to show everything off, and then I assume get a release date, maybe.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, Microsoft has to eventually detail their holiday.
And I assume it's going to be Psychonauts 2, and then that, I guess Halo Infinite, I don't know, maybe something else. Lloyd says, who's going to win tonight, Jake Paul or Ben Askren?
Jake Paul.
The dancing
robot. Actual skill, Ben.
Jake Paul.
But
Jake
scripting?
Scripting.
It's hard to that's true. It's kind of hard to trust these type of things too.
Oh, absolutely zero trust in this.
It's kind of hard to trust when you got purple Urkel and you got all this stuff. It's like how can you trust all? Like, what am I? I don't even know what I'm watching right now. She's still performing. But anyway, like that's a whole nother.
Oh, that's what we call it. That's performing.
She's still performing. She's been up there for like 15 minutes.
I don't know what.
I'm getting really tired of musical acts at like events. It's like, all right, we're going on like 5 minutes. Okay, do a song or two. Great. They're going on full sets here. This is the third musician who's done a full like 15-20 minute set.
It's JR. JR says, hey, love what you guys do. Keep it up. Do you think a 3DS is worth it right now? Never played any DS games with 3DS. Also saw Balan Wonderworld at $49 and laughed. Yes, you want to buy a 3DS immediately because they have shot up in price.
Yep. 3DSs are awesome.
Like immediately you want a 3DS. And the library is, did you know that Persona Q2? Dude, that jumped in price. I couldn't believe it. So everything's just 3DS is getting expensive, Vita's getting expensive, PlayStation 3 is getting expensive. Look up 3D.Game Heroes. I wanted to play it the other day. I'm not gonna be doing that for a little while. And yeah, really. That was a cool game too. Jay Noah says, I know he isn't here yet, but if OJ joins the live stream later on, can you guys tell him B-Day stream was dope? Shout out to Bad Video Game Music. That was from Jay Noah.
Yeah. There was an issue. We have an issue with that. With bad video game music. Crazy Bus. That's the thing. You guys ever heard Crazy Bus's music?
No.
Oh yeah, that's a great title screen.
Joven Davis says, hey OJ, I saw your health vid. I was wondering, have you tried Jergens lotion? I think it's better than Vaseline.
I've tried Jergens, but I like the Vaseline, the Cocoa Butter, Cocoa Radiant. That just works better for me now. But yeah, that stuff's good too. Aveeno's good. There's a lot of good ones that you guys can use. You know, that's just the one that I just use personally. But yeah, anyone that has like the extra moisturizing is fine. So. And
then we have David P here with $1 super chats. Okay, so let's move on here. Evan, we have another Discord question.
Oh yeah, Halo Instagram posted Mario crossover fan art. Chief and Smash possible?
Oh, that was a big topic there this week too, because there's all that talk. Nate, you know, we recorded that Game Pass video for the Switch, like, and then all of a sudden I was like, I'll post it up this weekend. And while I'm like putting it together, I'm like, oh, okay, we'll edit this. As that's going on, because there's like a delay between when we recorded that video to when it went up. All these articles start popping up and more speculation started happening around Microsoft and Nintendo. And I'm like, all right, maybe something is happening here with them. And of course, we just recorded that video for Game Pass. I'm like, watch somebody drop like a report or a rumor that something like that's happening after we just spent like 25 minutes recording this or 30 minutes recording it. But that fan art was a bit strange. That did kind of drop at just the right time. I don't know. They like fan art over there, so maybe they really was. Yeah, that.
I mean, it was a random illustrator. It wasn't like the Halo account created it. They were just sharing art someone else created, but they shared it very fast. That Instagram user only posted it like a few hours before the Halo account re-Instagrammed it.
Yep, it's like they saw it.
Like, how did you find that so quickly?
They were looking for it. They needed something with Mario and Halo because, you know, even these brands, I bet you even these brands, these community managers like might hear about this stuff, something happening, and they're like, let's play around with it a little bit. Like they maybe it's such a big deal or something that they have a hard time holding on to it. But they're not going to outright say anything, obviously. But I mean, it was cool fan art. But I think Microsoft and Nintendo are doing something this year. I don't know what it is. It could just be Banjo-Kazooie on the Switch, but I think they're doing something.
Maybe I'd say there will be some sort of announcement before the end of this fiscal year, not calendar year, that Microsoft and Nintendo are cooperating on something. Now, this could be something trivial that we don't even see the benefits of.
It could be something
more substantial.
It could be like behind the scenes, like maybe Nintendo and Microsoft ink a deal for like Azure or something, like how Sony did with Microsoft, something like that, because even Nintendo has mentioned cloud streaming a couple of times now where they're like, we got to be wary of this new technology and stuff that's happening, changing landscape. And
it was even, it was like, I think it was 2 years ago, David Gibson even tweeted that Nintendo and Microsoft are talking about Azure. So it could easily be related to that. So that's where it could be a number of different possibilities, something that we see the benefits of and possibly something that's just in the background, but something with Microsoft and Nintendo this year.
I'd like Chief Smash personally.
Like what?
I would like Master Chief in Smash personally. I'm just gonna throw that out there real quick.
Oh yeah.
There's not enough gun characters in Smash, so it would definitely fit.
Definitely a lot of swords. They do have a lot of
Ton
swords.
of
but not-
swords.
Get a grapple hook now.
At the end of the day, they'll probably just give him that energy sword and call it a day. It'll be
Probably maybe the gun and a sword. I hope they get sticky grenades too. You know.
Would that be one of the biggest reveals in Smash? Is Master Chief showing up?
I actually
other than
think
Sora.
so. Yeah, I think Sora. I think Sora would be he's my number one pick, by the way. But I think he would be the biggest, like the largest reveal ever, pretty much. I've wanted him since I was a child, and you know, I'm still on the train. I'm still devoted.
Nope.
You know,
Sorry, Nakat.
No, you're a hater, man.
Sorry.
He's definitely getting in the game.
Nakat.
You are a hater,
Sorry,
man.
Nakat.
I can already see it. I can already see it. No.
He's Disney, dude. He's Disney too, man.
Sephiroth ruined it. Sephiroth ruined it. It's
Who
not
didn't
happening.
ruin it?
Sephiroth ruined it. The last two characters, it's going to be Ryu Hayabusa.
Oh, okay, that one's cool.
A weirdo character, like somebody from like
No.
Star Ocean.
No.
It cannot be.
No.
Star Online 2. I guarantee. Watch. Wait.
Sora's coming, man. You can't break my resolve.
I would still like Acura.
Yeah, that would be
Just
great too.
saying.
You know,
That's going to be the bonus character. The last bonus character.
no, last
Don't-
character, Sakurai himself, just going to the game.
Yeah.
That's the last
Bonus
character.
characters. Oh my god, we're never gonna let this man rest.
No, and that'd be interesting if Chief was in there because that means they would have been playing that a while ago. Because when did they do that, OJ? When they come to terms with like what's going in? That was
2019, I think,
which means they probably would have been working on the Halo game around then, or they at least would have had knowledge of, you know, okay, yeah, Halo's going to go there, and we'll put Chief in as one of the characters or something.
You could just see like a trailer, Master Chief and Samus just like freaking
that was pretty
annihilating stuff
cool.
together.
That
How
would be
cool would
so
that be?
sick. That would be
Yeah.
So if it starts up,
characters.
so if it starts up and it's like the character reveal and Samus is the first person you see in it, you're like, all right, Chief's coming.
Yep.
That would be pretty cool.
Yep.
We have another Discord question, Evan.
For those of you who have kids, how long did it take after they were born until you could start playing video games with them regularly?
3 years.
I guess MVG, you have, but your kids are.
Yeah, I'm thinking about probably about 8 or 9, something around that time. I think was
You have
when
to gain the coordination and the ability to actually listen.
Yeah.
Regularly, me and my daughter did beat Super Mario 3D World together on the Wii U, but that was a frustrating, crazy experience when she paid attention. But when she did pay attention, it was fun to play. So I did, but that was when she was like, oh God, how old was she? She was like 4 or 3, my daughter was. So, I mean, at that time, she was kind of getting it, but we did end up beating the game. But obviously that game, you know, I could help her out there. But now she plays Roblox like she's completely coordinated in Roblox now.
Yeah.
And she's around 8 years. She's turning 9 soon. So, yeah.
I think, you know, it's a lot better these days because, yeah, Roblox is a big deal for kids. We didn't have that back in the day. So I think there's a lot more choices. John, I was going to ask you, are your kids playing anything at the moment, or are they still too young?
Chucking controllers across the
Skater XL.
Skater XL.
Yeah, they'll do that. Oh yeah, they'll play skateboarding. Oh yeah,
Nice.
that's the game they'll play.
So wait, your youngest is playing games already?
He can, yeah, he'll hold the Xbox controller. He knows that he knows the Xbox controller turns the system on, so he grabs the controller. He can press the Xbox button, turn it on, and then he'll go up on the couch. So he's like 1.5, and he'll just sit there.
How old is he's only like what, 2 or 3?
He's gonna be 2 in like a month.
Okay,
So
cool.
he'll already hold it, and like he'll move the sticks around to try to do something. But sometimes he'll just sit there with the controller, and the skateboard just won't move. They'll just sit there and look
kids though, it's a little bit different. Like the whole concept of them, it's not like, oh, I can't die. Like for them, it's just like the trigger and response of making things happen on the screen and watching it. Because I remember like my first video game I played when I was like 4 or 5 was Sonic. And like that's so easy to just get annihilated, but you just like the fact of watching it happen.
It's actually good that the Xbox buttons they're different colors, so they know green, red, blue, and yellow. So it's like green button makes them, start pedaling,
like
actually going forward. Skateboarding. So yeah, like that actually helps out a lot. So I don't know, it's still got a little while before they actually do anything meaningful in the game. So it's gonna be a bit. But
it'll be quick when it happens, though, John. Like it'll be like instant. They'll be like, whoa, all of a sudden we're good.
all over this house. Like they open a drawer and there's like a 2DS in there or something. So like there's games everywhere. So they'll have them in front of them at any time anyway. But and I got the GameCube set up for them, so you know, they're ready.
Nice.
When they're ready. Let's go over to the MPD stuff for the Switch and the PlayStation, because those were the two that really got talked about a lot. And Mario Kart came up too. That was an interesting conversation online for Mario Kart, because there was a GamesBeat article written about Mario Kart 9 that I thought was interesting going into E3, because E3 is in 2 months, so like that's pretty exciting. We can start looking forward to some big game reveals, I guess. We'll see how that all goes down in the first place. But Ubisoft just announced their presence there, so maybe we'll actually get some decent announcements in the span of 4 days. We had the MPD results. The Switch was the #1 selling piece of hardware, software, or dollar sales and hardware. And then we apparently had the PlayStation 5 set a record for fastest selling system in, I believe it was the first 5 months of it going on sale, which I think actually makes a lot of sense considering they really don't push out a lot of systems to places like Japan. And the PS4 was like a staggered release. That came out in February in Japan, like the following year. So it makes a lot of sense based on their plans for the PS5 being more Western than pretty much any other generation they've had. So them shipping a lot of PS5s to the US over other regions probably is why they were able to attain that. But then we had the top 20 released for the software. Monster Hunter Rise was 2. Outriders actually 3. Those 2 games came out right at the end of the NPD data collection, if I remember right, because Monster Hunter Rise right at the end of the month. Outriders was April 1st. That was like 2 or 3 days on the report. But then we had Mario Kart 8 at number 6. Mario Kart 8 came out like a month after the Switch release, and it is like GTA 5 for this, like to Rockstar. This game is to the Switch. It just constantly sells. So
that's not even acknowledging the fact that it's literally the same game from the Wii U era too.
Yep. Then I mean that game released in 2014, so yeah, technically we've had basically the same Mario Kart game for 7 years now, because it came out. Oh gosh, what was that? Was that April or was that May of 20? I have to double check the exact month. I think it was like the first half of 2014 though. So it's literally been 7 years with this game, and it's still selling. I mean, I guess this is the default game people buy. You buy a Switch, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna grab Mario Kart. I mean, that's Nintendo's biggest franchise right now, so. But it brought an interesting article about that asked the question, does Nintendo really need Mario Kart 9 if Mario Kart 8 keeps selling in the top 10 for MPDs, and it's always at the top of Nintendo's own charts when they release their numbers, and Animal Crossing is probably not going to catch it at this point because it jumped over Animal Crossing in these latest reports. So that's the big question now. Are we gonna get Mario Kart 9? Because that was one of my predictions for holiday this year, was a Mario Kart 9.
I think it's going to be. I said it was going to be announced. I feel that it's going to be announced. But I did read all, and I understand where that sentiment's coming from. Like, I don't necessarily disagree completely. I just feel that Nintendo's kind of waiting for that 100 million, and then once you kind of get that, and then bam, you release it. It's 30 million pretty quickly. Mario Kart kind of cheats though a little bit. I mean, it's been bundled for how many years now, so it's a little bit. True. There's a little bit of inflation on there, but you know. I mean, it's still. I mean, I see where people are coming from. I read the articles and all that. Watched the videos. Like, I see where people are coming from. We still
count Wii Sports. Wii Sports is still like 80 some odd million. So it's like, hold on.
Still count all that. So I mean, you got to do it here too. So you got to do it, even though it's the same price. But yeah, I mean, I still think that they're working on it. I still think that it's coming. It just depends on when they want to launch it, when it's gonna drop.
Yeah, I am curious because Nintendo has been known to hold on to games even if they're done at times. And that's my thought. I'm like, I mean, if I'm Nintendo, because I was like, all right, look, these other evergreen titles are in the top 20. We just like Zelda's in there. A lot of times we'll see Mario Odyssey up there and all this stuff. And it's like, I guess the one thing you could say about like Breath of the Wild is it's a direct sequel to it. So there's like a canon storyline to follow, and you'd be like, all right, well, I haven't played the Breath of the Wild 1. If 2 gets announced, I guess I should go buy 1 to play through that. Whereas if Mario Kart 9's coming out, you're not like, well, I got to figure out what the story is going on here with Mario Kart.
Exactly. You know? Right.
I mean, this is super dramatic. You would just buy Mario Kart 9, and that's it's just weird situation because I can't imagine Nintendo thought, okay, we're going to release Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and in 5 years or so, it's going to be over 30 million units sold. Like, we're going to port this Wii U game, and it's just going to explode massively in sales.
I think they knew it was going to do well, though. I think they knew that it was going to. I don't know if they thought it was going to do as great as it was. I don't think they thought the install base would be there, but they knew Mario Kart would do very well. Like, if you think like Mario Kart on the Wii, that game sold for like a freaking like decade plus or something like that. Game sold for a long time, so I think they knew that it was going to be hot. But yeah, I don't know if they knew it was going to be like this.
Like they're probably helped it a lot.
Yeah. Not having to buy two. Remember, we have to always buy two Mario Karts, or not have to, but we usually are used to buying the portable Mario Kart, the console Mario Kart.
It's interesting. Yeah, because we have Mario Kart comes out every 3 years. Because we had was it Mario Kart Wii that was 2008, right? I mean Mario Kart. Mario Kart 7. That was 20. That was 2011. I think that was 2011. 2011. And then we had Mario Kart 8 in 2014. And then we had Mario Kart Deluxe 2017, and then 2020 we didn't have anything, and like now we're here in 2021. So it does feel like it's been, I don't say delayed, but drawn out a little. It's off schedule. I guess they also did the mobile game though. Can we count that?
Mobile game, I think would count for sure.
Does it? Who made that?
I don't know. Was it who did make that actually?
The Mario Kart team was involved.
Okay, so they at least did some. Okay, so Nintendo did something there, with that. All right. Yeah, it's strange. I don't know. I almost feel like Nintendo's like,
I mean, what if they're gonna use it to kick off something new? Like, if it's a revised console, or if they're just waiting for the new one in general. Like, I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? If it's still bringing in money, why create competition with yourself? Wait till there's a new chapter and then start off the new chapter with something new.
Mario Kart's strong. That is a system seller right there, easily at launch. I mean, I would say maybe even as strong or stronger than Breath of the Wild, even if it's a Mario Kart game.
Yeah.
Like, people are gonna be like, oof, I need that new Mario Kart game.
Yeah.
It sounds weird saying it on a podcast like this, but like the mainstream is super on board with Mario Kart. It's not even close. So
much more accessible.
And I mean, Nintendo could do, as Click is alluding to, if you bring out the revision, you're going to be utilizing DLSS instead of patching it into Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Like, we know we're having Splatoon 3 next year.
Yep.
Why not have a new Mario Kart that's going to utilize the capabilities of this new hardware?
Yep.
A new Mario Kart that would be the good fit. So, it's Nintendo could explore that. It's really a question of, is it something that they want to do? And it comes down to how they want to position that revision.
Yeah, I feel like you're right though about that, Click, that it's something they could use to sell hardware. And I would think that that's probably a game that they would then, if they do any DLC for, would pick up and then just port it to the next Switch and be like, it's Mario Kart 9 Deluxe. There you go. And then they just get Mario Kart 9 again. And that would probably end up being like some crazy like 60 million unit seller or something then. But it is interesting. The Mario Kart 8 takes off, is really, really popular, and then we're just kind of we missed the schedule of Mario Kart releases now. So it just makes, I think that's, people are starting to kind of think about that a little bit, like, well, that's weird, we don't have that Mario. Technically 7 years. So
yeah, I mean, it's been a damn shame that you can look at Nintendo, you put out Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the Switch, and the fact that we haven't in any form come to this game is just,
you know what,
that's an injustice.
That does make me think though that Mario Kart 9 is actually coming soonish, because like, you feel like if it wasn't, maybe they do DLC, although I'm still waiting for my Super Mario Party update, which probably be Super Mario Party 2 for Mario 2. Yes. Okay, good. Yep. All right, good. So that makes me think that Mario, by the way, that was number 19. That was number 19 in the MPDs. All right. I just want everyone to realize that. Super Mario Party. Okay. Still on 1.0. Okay. Not 1.01. I didn't have to go a little further. 1.0. All right. Anyway, I think that's the biggest case though for that, Nate, is that they probably have ideas obviously for Mario Kart 9, because I almost feel like they might be done Mario Kart 9 or it's close-ish to being ready. And they probably just said, we'll just put in Mario Kart 9. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe literally sells the way it is.
Yeah, I mean, the only other project beyond Mario Kart Tour that this team had worked on, it was ARMS. And that had some new content for a little bit. So unless they're working on ARMS 2, the realistic outcome is that they've been working on another Mario Kart game. It's just, when are we going to hear about it? When will we see it?
All right, let's be real. Legs can that can take a break. All right, we need Mario Kart 9.
Legs.
Yeah, that's the next. I mean, that's what else you going with?
ARMS 2.
Feet.
Feet. Oh my god. Mm.
Feet?
Gosh.
How did ARMS
That could be an
do
interesting
in terms of sales?
It's like 2 million or 2 to 3 million, somewhere in there.
Like
Yeah.
2.5 to 3 million, somewhere in that range.
All right.
This new IP that launched, around this or around the Switch's in the Switch first year, so that wasn't too bad then for that. At the time, it was just the funny game to show off during the those days where you go into the pre-show for the Switch where they were traveling around, because the thing every time I tried it, it was just messed up because the person there who didn't know how it worked. So it was always messed up. Everyone wanted to play Breath of the Wild anyway. That's why everyone went. And then we all had to sit in line and play 1-2 Switch instead. And we got Discord questions there.
Yeah, we still got a couple. We'll just do this.
Okay.
One. What's the best pizza chain?
Best pizza chain?
Yeah, chain store, I guess.
That's a good question. Best pizza chain.
I mean, aren't most of them kind of bad?
Yeah.
Usually the best pizza chain. I think people say like Domino's is the best, right?
I think honestly, once Domino's revised their recipe, they got a lot better. To be honest.
Yeah,
Stop using government surplus cheese.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like,
If I had to order one, it probably would be Domino's.
Yeah.
I was alright with Pat's. Like Pat's Pizza was alright.
That's not a pizza chain.
Domino's.
There's so many around
Dude,
here.
there's like a Pat's every like 10 miles around here.
Oh,
All
okay.
right.
So it's like
Oh,
an
that's
East
never
Coast-
heard of that.
Oh, that's here. Okay, yeah, never mind then. So it's okay.
Yeah.
That doesn't count.
Well, I mean,
No, that's a New York
it is
pizza?
it is
Domino's.
technically a chain. It's just not international.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
fine. Domino's
okay.
then.
I think like local pizza spots are the best. Like you got like a local chain.
Oh,
that
yeah.
yeah, those are always like I got one that I go
Especially
to
in New York, man.
New York,
No,
pizza
not
places
especially
are
in New
great.
York. Cat. No, not
Especially in New York.
Or
Oh,
$1, $2 slices in New York.
Easily.
No, with you guys is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
Goated.
all cheese. No,
Hey,
no
don't worry
bread
about all
and
that.
pizza,
Don't worry
like
about
this,
all
you
that.
like weirdos. No,
Tri-State is
no.
known for having the best
Why you
pizza.
want all that crust?
Sorry, man.
No, what you
You're
Too much
gonna be
crust
all
on
right.
that
Michelangelo
thing.
eating? No.
That pizza's godlike for a reason. For a
When I
reason,
go to
man.
New
That's why
York,
you always
I'm
hear
walking
about
the
it.
streets of
Master Splinter, sewer eating, skateboarding, turtle power eating. No, I refuse.
East Coast, Best Coast,
Ninja
baby.
Turtles.
You got no Discord question, Evan?
Any tips on what to look out for to avoid bootlegs on Amazon?
Oh, I mean, half the time they don't even have pictures of the thing on Amazon. That's tough. That's really tough.
Outside of demanding they open it up and show you the inside, like there's really nothing you can do.
It also depends on which system as well they're talking about, because I mean, some it's easy to spot bootlegs on different systems.
He was trying to buy Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn.
Ooh. Okay. The pictures of it? That's the biggest question.
But I think the pictures are just of the front of it, or even just the box art. Like they don't really show you much.
If the box art is very clean, it's probably fake.
I mean, Radiant Dawn, I think you're okay. I think you'd be okay just picking that one up.
He did. He had to return it because it was a bootleg.
It was a bootleg. Oh, that's surprising.
Who the hell's bootlegging?
I was gonna say, why is someone bootleg the Wii game?
I think
It's
worth
rare, but it's not highly
rare.
sought after.
Huh?
It's
Did they
not
just
as
like
hot
did they
as-
just like burn the disc and like print one of those cheap like labels on it? I
Maybe.
don't. That weird. Okay, interesting. Maybe. Oh, you know what? Maybe they have like a modded Wii and they burned it and like. Okay, so this is interesting because we've had people come in at times and like try to trade stuff like that in, and they legitimately didn't know because it wasn't their collection. It was like their son's collection or like their brother's collection, and they have some like burned games in there, and they tried to make them look legit, I guess, for their collections. That has happened before. Although you are going through Amazon and you know you're going through the internet, you're not just plopping it down on a counter at a store somewhere. So. Maybe they tried to get one over on you, but I mean, it's tough. You need to look at pictures. If you have a game that's that expensive, you would expect there to be pictures. But that's why I like going to shows like Too Many Games if I can, so I can actually see the item in front of me. Then we have, let's see, a couple super chats. Matt Bradley says, looking to get a new TV with 2.1. Any suggestions? I think the LG CX is still probably a good way to go. They have a new one that was, I think, came out, but the features don't. To me, the pricing doesn't make sense to go with that over the CX when, I mean, the CX, I think the other day was on sale for like almost $1,000.
Wow,
That's pretty good for the 55-inch one. It's been like cut down because that new model's out, but like I think if you're just buying it for games and you get the CX, you're good.
CX is still, man. Mine, I haven't had. I don't know, John. People always ask me this. I don't know if you get this question a lot. The burn-in, still no burn-in on mine. You know,
I haven't had no issues at all here.
Yeah.
I think OLEDs in general are much better now because the Sony I have doesn't have any burn-ins and neither does the CX. So like
the games it looks fantastic. Yeah, it looks great. Like, man, even if you're playing like PS4 games and stuff, looks great.
Oh yeah. And Liam says, question for Nate: do you think this Nintendo and Microsoft stuff changes your mind on Chiefs' chances for Smash?
No, it has not changed my mind.
Okay. Escape says, what will be Jason Schreier's next bombshell article? We still need to know what is happening inside 343 with all the devs leaving. He just put up a story about Amazon, I think, canceling the Lord of the Rings stuff. MMO.
Say it once, I'll say it again. Amazon, fraud gaming company that doesn't pay their taxes and doesn't pay their employees. So don't.
There we go. Them. Mark says Genshin Impact was announced for the Switch over a year ago, but it's coming to PS5 on the 25th. Could it be some sort of secret exclusivity like how Persona 5 still hasn't been ported to the Switch? I just think they haven't finished the port to the Switch, to be honest. I think they're still working on that one. Scott says Series X will have AMD full version of DLSS and PS5 will have a smaller version of it.
What is that based on?
What's that?
What that information that super chat just said? What is that based on?
I saw people talking about. I think it was a developer profile. I had to look. I saw it go on Twitter being passed around, and I was like, I'll look into this at some point, but I haven't yet. I think it had to do with AMD's what do they call it, super resolution stuff, where Microsoft was able to run, I think, a better version. I have to double check. I could probably pull it back up here on Twitter where people spotted a SDK for it. Wilkin says, has the PS4's week affected you buying physically? It has not.
No,
because the PS5 will play PS4 games and all that too, but I still think I'd be surprised if Sony didn't work something out with this. It seems a bit out there that like the PS4 and the PS5 literally have like timers on them that are counting down basically. And Mr. L says they said the same thing about Pokemon Snap that they did F-Zero, but look what we're getting now. Yeah, Pokemon's super hot though.
Did they say that about Pokemon Snap?
I can't imagine Pokemon Snap.
They needed to innovate with a new exciting idea for Pokemon Snap to come back. But look at new Pokemon Snap. They have innovated in numerous ways, just the way they interact with each other in the wild, the inclusion of new, Pokeballs and all this other stuff. So they did innovate it. And I mean, Pokemon is 1 million times more popular than F-Zero.
You can't compare it. It's considered one of the biggest franchises ever. So. Yeah. It's got to have a name that's going to drive it.
Also, the Pokemon company, is involved with all of that too. So there's a lot of people talking about, figuring it out within that. And Bandai was probably just called on me like, "Yo, can you make this game?" So
we still got E3 coming up, so we'll see what they bring out. Metroid's coming back, so I think let's focus on Metroid. Let's get Metroid some sales. I know people want stuff, but listen, I was in that same camp with Kid Icarus. I was like, "Where's Kid Icarus? I want it," and we got bodied. Okay,
bought that game, man. I wish they bought the game.
I was like, "Where's Kid Icarus? I want it. You guys better." Man. And they brought it out, and nobody was there with me, man. I was the only person at GameStop to buy the game, bro.
I love that. I love that game, man. I love that game so much.
Yeah, everyone, like all these people owe Sakurai just a purchase of if he does it again. Okay, you all need to buy it then. Everyone needs to.
Icarus Uprising is a top 5 3DS game.
Yeah.
Technically, it might be the most impressive 3DS game overall. When you look at like the online play, the offline play, they literally spent so much time and effort on this game, and bro, people just didn't show up, and people were clamoring for it so much.
It's got that Sakurai quality on it though. So
it's fantastic. You can even go back and play. Controls are rough, but
get it on the Switch. Figure it out.
Hopefully,
figure it out. Fish fan says thanks to the entire Spawncast crew except for RGT85 for another great show. Also shout out to MIA85. Let's see. Then we have Scott says Series X will have AMD full version of DLSS and PS5 will have a small version of it. We just talked. Lord says this question is for Spawn. How will Eagles do without Wentz next year?
Better for you though.
Yeah, for me. Yeah, they'll probably just lose a lot like they did last year. That's my estimation. I don't know if they're gonna do any better.
Quarterbacks way better they got there.
Yeah, but they're
Jalen Hurt. They
still got that. They still have the same coach.
No, they got rid of him too.
Oh, that's right, they did.
Yeah, they got that quarterback. They're going to be way better. Way better. They were playing great at the end of the year.
Okay, that coach. All right, yeah. I think with new coach. You know what? Yeah, okay. I think they'll do better. They might get to 500.
You know he won a Super Bowl, John.
He did win a Super Bowl. You know what? I'll give him that. He did win a Super Bowl. he did beat Tom Brady and the Patriots. So
I'll give him that. He won one Super Bowl.
He won one.
49ers just get there then lose. So I mean, you know that's our thing.
That's talent right there. A lot of talent to go through all that just to lose.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it takes effort. I'm a Niners fan, by the way, guys. So I'm just messing with John.
Sports.
We're both
not
Niners
many
fans.
Sports. I mean, only other team more talented are probably the Falcons. Okay. Loco says, "What if Nintendo just goes for a different genre for the next F-Zero instead?" I mean, I don't mind that idea, but I think most people would see it and be like, "Why am I not racing?"
F-Zero music.
Genre.
F-Zero music.
F-Zero music.
Yeah, you're gonna. Oh no.
No.
You know what? I would accept that if it's an F-Zero game like Guitar Hero, you just move the car to the rhythm music.
I am not accepting that. No one listen to Nate.
No,
right now.
they do already have rhythm games based on that where it's movement. Like they already
Let's go.
exist.
That's next F-Zero.
Let's do it.
Gosh.
Hey, you people wanted F-Zero back, and this is how it comes back. You buy it.
I've been playing F-Zero Twister Race to get ready.
Oh my gosh.
Pixelated Pigeon says Shinnon Multimedia should make the next F-Zero. Fast RMX was incredible. Thoughts? See, Nate? See? Pixelated Pigeon knows.
Not even close to the same.
And Chris says, I always enjoy Spawncast and guests. Has anyone played it? Takes Two co-op game. My daughter and I enjoyed No Way Out together. Appreciate any feedback. I have not played it yet. I need to. I just got to find someone to play it with.
I watched streamers play it together, and
People seem so happy playing it.
Mhm.
I need to figure out a way to play that.
It's not like you don't have a wife or anything, right?
I'm not playing with you.
John's like completely ignore
Oh, God.
I'll figure it out. Did I get everyone there? On the Go Gamer says maybe have some kind of story/career mode for F-Zero.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, that'd be cool.
So Lassa says, have any of you watched The Electric Playground? The show's by Victor Lucas, and you should have him on your show sometime. He is awesome. I used to watch Electric Playground even back in the day on G4.
Love that show.
I've been on Victor's channel before. I wouldn't mind getting Victor Lucas on the show. That'd be cool.
What about Tommy, his partner?
Easel Games says, excited for another Deathloop trailer at E3. Starting to wonder about Ratchet now. Honestly, kind of random. I can't watch till later. Deathloop got delayed again. That's right. I think Ratchet will be fine. I think Ratchet will come out. I think it'll be good. And the real question is going to be what Sony has for the holiday. But I think Insomniac is like on the ball with a lot of the stuff.
Insomniac is like the reason to have a PS5.
Yes, they went back and they were even looked at Ratchet and Clank, the one we have on the that they gave away, and they were like, nah, that can be 60, and they made a 63rd patch.
Insomniac's out here, they're like, yo, we're gonna give you guys like 5 games in the first 8 months, and everyone else is like, wow, we should do something.
Yeah, and they've been updating their games along the way too. Like Spider-Man's seen several updates. They did a mode where they threw ray tracing in and then got it to 60 frames. So I do like this whole thing with Insomniac really focusing on the frame rate as well. Like, it seems to be a big deal for them to make sure there's like a 60 frames mode for their games. So I do like that. Yeah, Insomniac was a good purchase by Sony. They've done very well so far. And
it was nice to see, honestly, that purchase. Long time coming.
Yeah. Fancy Filmmaker says, I think what Nintendo needs to do is release a small demo for Skyward Sword, lets people test the button and motion control, see how well they feel. Maybe it will get people more hyped for it. I mean, I wouldn't mind a demo, but I think they're just gonna roll into it and
I don't
sell
think
it.
they demo like a mainline Zelda game. That doesn't really seem like something they
Oh, wait a
do.
minute. No, they didn't demo Zelda Skyward. I thought they demoed, but they did it.
No. Mm-mm.
But I played a demo of the game.
Well, aren't you?
They had
special?
they had that good E3 demonstration where nothing worked. Miyamoto just stood there like, it's your Wi-Fi, it's your cell phone.
I remember that.
Okay, but okay, if we're gonna talk about that, like Bluetooth interference is an actual thing for real. Like I literally won't. I will always bring this up. When Splatoon lands first started up in the Wii U era, they had to separate the Wii U's because the controllers were all interfering with each other, so they couldn't have like the teams like sitting next to each other. They had to do it in separate rooms with like a certain amount of wall in between, and then they had to like set up 2 different setups just to have Splatoon lands.
They should.
It's a very real thing.
They should have scripted that demo or something.
Yeah, it should have been pre-recorded.
Yeah, they should have been like,
Yeah.
look, just kind of look like you're doing what's on the screen. Okay,
How do you quality? I mean, how would you quality check that though? You know, it's like that's the disadvantage of doing avant-garde stuff of like having those quirks, you know, that you're doing with.
I do kind of feel like Miyamoto would just walk in and be like, just put it up there, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, I could see that too. We'll do it live.
Basically. I'm Miyamoto, okay.
That's why I went to Nintendo Directs, because of that. That was the cause of Nintendo Directs. They're like, we don't want this to ever
It's
happen.
funny. Like I remember a distinct time where like you'd watch E3 and Nintendo would always be kind of like, like there'd be some problems and you get some laughs in and be like, all right, that was funny. And then at one point, like, oh yeah, they got their stuff together really well.
Their E3s were actually pretty bad leading, like,
Yeah.
They were
before
endearing.
they got rid of them. They were
there was charm to them, but they weren't great. Wii Music was definitely a highlight.
music one. I mean, there was a couple other ones that weren't very good. So you know,
Like, like Cammy Dunway. She's like, what was she snowboarding? And it's just like, get off the stage.
yeah. When they were playing music, though, that was that quite possibly bottom.
It's Bluetooth interference.
That was the bottom right there. When they were playing music on stage.
M4G had a field day. It was nuclear field day after that, man.
Chris says, just put all these GameCube titles on the eShop already. The fans can decide if they support the games, and if they sell enough, Nintendo can revive franchises.
Please
Get those GameCube games on the Switch. That's right.
Yes, please.
Why not? Put them up there. I'll buy them.
Please.
Absolutely.
I don't know why it's taking like so long for them to even try and do it. At least a few of them.
I would like to see them just try. I mean, I guess they did. It was in the collection with Mario Galaxy, but like, I mean, just one that's just outright. Okay, we're gonna grab. What were we just talking about? F-Zero GX, sure. Or just grab this. We'll move it over. Everyone keeps talking about it. We'll see if they actually buy the thing, and then use the GameCube logo on it. You know, just for branding. Like, here's a GameCube logo on it too.
If
Just
not
say,
F-Zero, try Kirby Air Ride.
that's a good one too.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. And then we have Sakan saying the Famicom detective games need to sell well for old IP's sake. I wonder how well those will do. I don't hear a lot of people talking about them right now. James says if you're a fan of smart indie games, you need to play. There's no game. Wrong dimension. It's like a point and click Stanley Parable. And Sai says, if you want Metroid, get Returnal, support the game. I am going to buy Returnal, but it feels... I still think that game's going to struggle. So
What the hell does Returnal have to do with Metroid?
I just brought up Returnal in general.
Like that, one of them
It's a girl in a space-looking suit, I guess. Is the only
and there's
comparison.
aliens with tentacles and whatnot in
nothing to do with
Returnal.
each other.
Yeah.
It's like saying the Alien movies are Metroid films.
Like what?
It looks interesting. I hope it proves itself. Like, I hope it's actually something good.
No, I think it'll be good. It's just, it's not like, oh, well, this will affect one. If you want Metroid, get Returnal. It's like they're two different systems, different companies, different types of games. Like, they're not even,
I'm curious. All right, so would it have been the old guard that would have approved Returnal or greenlit it? Like, would have been Sean Layden and Andrew House rather than...
I think there was an interview. It was Jim Ryan.
Okay, it was Jim Ryan approved it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Jim Ryan was like the main factor there.
All right, there you go. Well, hopefully it does well then for Housemark. We will see. And let's go.
I think the user who asked that question was confusing it with Recore, who was the former Metroid developers. They left Retro to form. What's the name of that studio who did Recore? Armature.
Armature. Oh, okay, yeah. So it'd be, it would be.
Yeah, they're the former Retro employees.
Okay, yeah. If you want Metroid, it just says get Returnal. I don't know. Psionic says, did you all ever play Star Fox's story in Starlink? And did you like it? Personally, I loved it. And I think that could be a good route for Star Fox. I did like it. I probably wouldn't have played Starlink otherwise. So
yeah.
It
was cute.
Evan, we have Discord questions left.
Yeah, still got about, I think, 3 left. Quick one. Link's crossbow training HD for the Zelda 35th. Thoughts?
Yes.
Yes.
You can leave that one behind. It's fine.
We can bring back the Zapper, right?
Yes.
No.
Sweet.
All right. What's another one, Evan?
The acquisition of Obsidian and Bethesda by Microsoft. Do we think that's going to be useful for Microsoft to try to push Game Pass on PC, or do we think it might not be enough to make PC kind of want Game Pass? Like people who basically exclusively use PC. I don't think it will personally.
What was the question? Say it again.
Microsoft's acquisition of Obsidian and Bethesda. They're mostly known for PC games. Do we think that putting that on Game Pass might push people on PC to want Game Pass more, basically?
I mean, that's their end goal, is to get people on PC into Game Pass, because that's basically their Xbox Live for PC.
But these two companies, just these two, I don't think it's going to be important. I mean, if that's all you're really getting out of it.
It may not be like a meaningful percentage. It might draw in some, but like I don't think it's going to sway tons of PC gamers to get Game Pass. They'll just buy the games on PC.
Yeah.
It depends who else they buy, because I think they're going to try to acquire some more, and of course what they come up with their first party stuff through Microsoft now. So maybe that library grows, because the problem with Game Pass on PC is that like there's less games than there is on the Xbox. So that's kind of an issue. It still feels like that's like the lesser than service right now. But they did come up with a better version of Nier than what was available on Steam. So maybe we'll even see more of that.
Still salty about that.
We have another Discord question.
Last one. This probably will never happen, but what do you think of a collaboration between Kojima and Joseph Fares, the founder of Hazelight Studios?
That would be an interesting collaboration.
Yeah.
That'd be.
Would we get them on stage at the same time too while we're at it?
I don't know.
Did you get Kojima to say F the Oscars?
It sounds kind of cool.
I wonder. Okay, so they would do obviously a co-op game, because that's like what Joseph Fares is really into doing right now, are these kind of co-op style games. Yeah, I mean, It Takes Two is super imaginative. Obviously, it's very different from what he did before, The Way Out.
Yeah, but in hyper creative fields, I feel like if you put two hyper creative people in a room, the clashing could occur. That could annihilate
stuff. If it's Snake and Raiden, you have to help each other.
Metal Gear Solid, It Takes Two.
You know what? I'm up for anything in the gaming world that could give us some weird game. So sure, why not? Let's finish up with the Indies presentation. We had this past week, and you know what? I thought it was a pretty good presentation overall. Actually, there's 21 games that I counted that was there, so that's actually quite a bit of variety in what was, I think it was like a 20-minute presentation. So we basically had a game a minute essentially there. That was being shown off. I can go through all of the games real quick. We had, starting with the top, Road 96, Aerial Knights Never Yield, Last Stop, Hindsight, Ollie Ollie World, The Longing, There Is No Game, TMNT Shredder's Revenge,
Yes,
Tales, Getsu Fumaden, that's a Konami game, by the way.
Yes,
Aztec Gods, Skull Summer, Art of Rally, Kiwi, Labyrinth City, Weaving Tides, The House of the Dead remake, Ender Lilies, Beasts of Marvilla, Island, Fez, and Oxenfree 2.
Oxenfree.
It was a good show. It was a good show.
Okay, I heard someone say Oxenfree 2. Who said
Hell
that?
Yeah.
Yes, man. Me. I love.
Oh, interesting. Okay, you guys like Oxenfree. I was curious about that one because I didn't play.
Oh my gosh.
Oxenfree's good.
I didn't expect that at all.
It's a brilliant take on paranormal storytelling. Like, it's just really nice.
Yes.
Okay.
And
one of my best streams I've ever done was Oxenfree.
My favorite is finding out, because when I purchased it, it said at the bottom, it was like, this is also a multiplayer game. I was like, what the hell do you mean? And finding out what that actually meant to the game was just really cool. The concept of leaving behind notes. Oh, it was so fun.
Interesting. Okay. So you guys are excited for Oxenfree 2 then, I assume?
I'm grabbing that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, very good. What about MVG? I heard you were pretty excited about some of those titles I read off there. What we got?
Yeah, obviously Shredder's Revenge was a big one.
That's probably the best looking game there, I think. Yeah, for me.
Yep.
How was it?
It's definitely vibes of Turtles in Time. Can't wait for that one. I also liked House of the Dead, even though I have reservations, but
I'm excited for House of the Dead.
From what I saw, I'm excited. So hopefully Forever Entertainment will do a good job with that. Shut up, Nate. And I think overall it was a good show. I liked it. I mean, there were some people that were like, there was no Silk Song and there was no Sports Story, and people were, there was a bit of that.
Silk Song. I feel like Silk Song's just been upgraded to like full Nintendo Direct status at this point. I mean, it was on the cover of Edge magazine. People keep talking about it constantly on social media. Nintendo might be like, you know what, we'll put that at maybe E3 or actual big direct or something. We'll put it up on that kind of a stage.
It doesn't need anything. It markets itself.
Yeah, but like, Nintendo might be like, hey, let's do some collaboration here for a direct. Let's just go ahead and put it on there. At least I would. I'd be like, it's kind of outgrown to me anyway, the indie feel almost. I know it technically is, an indie game, but like it's gotten to that kind of status now where it's like, we put this out there, it's going to blow up online. So
I even thought that Konami's Gets a Fumiden looked really good too. So don't call it a comeback. We'll see. But I'm here for it. I think it looked pretty good.
Konami's back. Are you sure? Konami's not back yet.
I didn't say that. Nate said that.
Konami's coming back.
Coming back.
I thought the Aztec game looked kind of cool too. A little bit of a interesting 3D action game. That looked fun.
Did anyone download The Longing? That's the game where you legitimately wait 400 days.
No, I didn't download that. What? I did download the other game though, like that Big Trip Runner game. Aerial Knight, Never Yield. That was cool.
That game looked pretty cool. Yeah,
it's fun. It's like Big Trip. So if you like Big Trip, it's just like that.
Jordan, apparently there's an ending to the game, and you find out after 400 days. They didn't say what the ending is, but
when did the game drop?
The day of the indie, so this past week. So
okay, so no one's gonna know until over a year from now.
I'm curious if I buy the game and then I disconnect my Switch from the internet and I fast forward 400 days on the clock, internal clock, would I then just get the ending?
Interesting.
You'd have to, right?
I assume I would, because people time travel in Animal Crossing, right? So, like, I assume that would happen, and it's just this little guy that just kind of walks around, and eventually something happens.
For anyone who's actually playing day by day or just waiting for 400 days, I really hope there's something special.
Maybe, you know what? Maybe they actually have stuff set up so that each day things do happen for this 400 days. Exactly, they need 800 events that they've designed, so there's two or so per day that happen. Maybe that's what they did, but I guess it's an interesting concept to do it that way. I don't know. Turtles looks good.
Yes.
Turtles is awesome. I originally announced it as just consoles and PC, so I don't think people knew what it was actually coming to, but it's good to see. Okay, yeah, it's on the Switch. It seemed obvious anyway when they showed it.
It was always going to come to the Switch. I mean, it's going to sell the most number of copies on that platform, hands down.
I still didn't see anything about online multiplayer though. A little concerned.
Yeah, they still haven't talked about it in terms of online. I mean, I would think Streets of Rage had it, so I mean,
yeah.
Nintendo's website doesn't say anything about online multiplayer that I saw though for it.
Yeah. They need to do online with that type of game. Like that needs to. Yeah. I mean, obviously it's a great co-op experience, but
that game needs online.
Yeah, it really does. But I like what I saw there. It looks good visually. They had this parts where they throw the foot soldiers at the screen, just like from Turtles in Time. So there's probably gonna be a boss around that, and it looked like something I played, back in the 90s, but brought up to modern times. So I'm on board with that fully. And it's the people who developed Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the game. So yeah, I'm immediately buying that. no questions asked there.
The animations too. Did you guys notice the different type of combo system in there? Like if you look carefully at that trailer again, look at the variation in terms of what the turtles can do. It's more in depth than what you would think just by a Turtles game.
Even their running animations, they have subtle differences. I mean, you can tell they've put a lot of care and attention into this, and I love it. Absolutely,
like Mikey's fighting style is like kind of crazy. Like you see like this different type of stuff that he does compared to like Donatello and Leonardo that are more like form, and then Raphael's kind of like more brute. Like they styled it for each turtle. So if you grew up back then playing, I mean, it's like a no-brainer, playing these games. So even if you're new though, I think there's a lot of attention and care put into it as like a Super Turtles fan back in the day. That was like the game, from the, I even played the crappy NES one, that first NES one with they all had the red headbands, but then they were, that game sucked, but I still played it like crazy, so arcade game, Turtles in Time. So this one looks like it's going to be as good as like the arcade game and Turtle. It looks that good, if not maybe even better, but we got to get it first. So online, please.
Okay, and then I think the other big one a lot of people pointed out was House of the Dead remake. That was part of the montage, by the way. That was pretty quick, and then they put out a trailer afterwards. It looks better than I was expecting it to look, is what I'll say right now.
Forever Entertainment is the monkey's paw of gaming. They give you a franchise you want, and they screw up something with it. And this is House of the Dead. This was a light gun game. It's on the Switch. We don't have a light gun. How is this game going to control? Is it going to have gyro aiming? Are we going to touch the screen?
We're just talking about the Link's Awakening, the Link's crossbow training zapper. I mean, we could use that, right?
No.
Hold on, everyone was all on board for Link's. Like, he's right. Everyone was all on board, and I was like, nah, you can leave that one behind. All of a sudden,
why can't you use a Joy-Con?
I never voiced any support of that.
Why can't you use gyro? Why can't you just use gyro to play the game?
It's just unreliable.
I do agree. They will have to figure out controls. I mean, like both in handheld and in docked mode as well. Don't forget. So that will be interesting to see what they come up with.
How would that work in handheld mode?
Yeah, and then the Switch Lite, right? So they've got some things they got to figure out there.
Like that, I want them to nail the controls because that's literally the one thing you have to get perfect in this type of release. I love House of the Dead. I will buy this release. The controls have to be on point. Like the reticule you saw in the trailer, I assume it was just shopped on. It wasn't actually representative of any play. It looks stiff. So that's where I hope that's not legit. I hope they don't come in. The press release specifically mentioned modern controls. I swear to God, if the only control option is analog stick,
it's gonna be analog stick.
And they're like, we're gonna patch in gyro in like 6 weeks. Like, oh God.
I
Don't
mean,
even say D-pad.
You can't rule it out. Like the Sega Saturn House of the Dead, you use the D-pad to aim with. I mean, it works, but it's not really modern control. So I do wonder what they'll come up with. But I mean, their options here are limited. Like there's only a finite amount of choices we have here, unless they're introducing a peripheral into the mix. But even then, right, that would be an optional extra. It's not going to be something you have to buy with the game. So yeah, I mean, I feel like they're probably going to just bake in a combination of analog, gyro, Joy-Cons, maybe some Pro Controller thing, maybe a peripheral as well. But I mean, I think ultimately they're just going to have about 4 different choices, and you have to pick one, and all of them aren't going to be terrific.
The reason that gyro's not as good for these kind of things as opposed to pointer is because it works. Gyro works better in first person where you're moving the entire screen around in the camera, but in this it's fixed and you just move a reticule around like the screen, so it feels like it's always behind you when you're trying to move your the Joy-Con or like anything that's based around gyro. It doesn't feel as accurate as if the whole screen moved with the gyro.
If it's the only option, I'll take it, but they have to just get it down right. I mean, this is House of the Dead. This is also a release that's going to excite a lot of people.
Consider this one. Usually, to reload, especially with the guns, you would shoot off the screen and then come back. So, like, you can already see how like the gyro is going to be all over the place for that too. That's why the pointer controls with the Wii were so good for these kind of things. And it was any like-end games on like the Wii are awesome. Like, obviously, we talk about Resident Evil 4, but you get any of those, it's really good.
Right.
So
yeah, House of the Dead 2, 3, Overkill, outstanding on the Wii.
Well, even Metroid Prime. Freaking
Metroid Prime
movie.
3 was Metroid Prime. Did you guys play the Resident Evil ones? I thought Umbrella Chronicles.
Umbrella Chronicles.
I thought those were my favorite.
Those were both good. They were both good games.
Yep. Yeah, Umbrella and was it Dark Chronicles? Dark Side?
Yeah,
something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, those
Hey,
are
Craig,
all really good.
Have you played Umbrella Chronicles?
Oh gosh, is that the one? Is that the one she should start with?
Yeah, she might start with
Oh
Umbrella
my
Chronicles.
goodness. I
They
swear
start
to
with Umbrella
God.
Chronicles in the week. Let's go.
Yeah, Umbrella Chronicles. I think it starts with Resident Evil 1.
Yeah.
And you can play as Wesker. He has his friggin' Magnum, and he's just like.
No, you know what? No. Click has to start with the demo for Resident Evil Village just to troll Sean. Just to troll him. You have to spend 20 minutes, play through it, and be like, "My first Resident Evil game was the demo, Sean." Just to mess with him.
You could get crazy views if your first Resident Evil game is Resident Evil 8 at launch. Oh my god! I think everybody would be their
What?
first time ever playing Resident Evil 8 out of nowhere.
No, you
Kinda
know
nuts.
how much hate I'd have to deal with online? I wouldn't want that.
Don't even look at the chat.
Game of Thrones, you don't even play games.
Don't even look at the chat. I wouldn't look at the chat. I would just play.
I think another slept on Wii one is Dead Space Extraction.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah.
You see that plastic gun holder thing that they sold you for like $15, and you're off to one of these games. Yeah, they had a couple of weird third-party ones too. I remember that.
They had a bunch. Of them.
Then that was the indie show, but there was one other announcement this past week. All right, because someone on this panel is releasing a game soon.
Is it me?
Who, me?
How'd you
Not
hear
you.
about that?
It is MVG because we had the announcement for Shantae heading to the Switch.
Yay!
Coming out April 22nd. And the reason I'm pointing that out is because the game's good in the first place, but MVG contributed to the port for the release here. Which company? That was Way Forward, right?
Yep. Way Forward Limited Run Games. We worked together to bring that game out. And I think Nate's actually got you got the game. I'm still waiting for mine. Like, everyone's got the game. I don't even have the
You
game.
haven't even got yours yet?
Yep. Limited Run Games. Express shipped it out.
Full disclosure, Way Forward did send me a code the other day, but Nate put up a 10-minute. Nate put up a 10-minute gameplay video the other day. No, it's very exciting to finally have this game come out. It's been in the works for. We talked about it back in August of 2019. Like, that's when this whole thing started. So between now and then, right? And that's just a very, very small game. So think about AAA game development, right? If it took us that long to get this game, from inception to shipped, cut some slack to the big AAAs because they're obviously working really hard to get games out for everyone.
Especially if you mix in like 300 people or something.
Absolutely. I couldn't imagine working in a team that large and trying to get something done. It would feel like it would never get released. But there were times when I just felt like we were never going to get this game out. There was all, and this wasn't, and I want to be very clear, this wasn't development hell, right? Everything was smooth, but it's just one of those things where it's like, something happens and there's bugs, and then you're waiting on things to put into the game, and then there's all these dependencies and stuff that's going on, and time does slip by very, very quickly. But they do say that shipping video games is hard. It's absolutely true, but the good news is it's coming out on the 22nd. Very excited. So far, I've seen a couple of YouTube videos and some playthroughs, and I will say it's very hard to watch someone else play the game that you worked on, because I'm sitting there waiting for it to crash every 5 seconds. But fortunately, that hasn't happened, so that's good. So check out Shantae next week. It's $10 on the eShop, and enjoy it because it's a really good game.
It's a great
I'll be
game.
streaming it, MVG, just to let you know. I'll be streaming it and checking out the game. So I'm looking forward to it. I haven't got my copy yet in the mail, but hey, who cares? I'll buy a digital copy as well, so I'll be double digit.
Now with that out of the way, you have Shantae releasing. This is big. Yep. Are you going to be working on something else, perhaps? Are you going to move on to something else, maybe?
There are a couple of other things in the works right now.
So you're sticking with it, making some more games happen?
Yep.
Awesome.
They're exciting.
Yep.
Exciting.
Maybe you can make a Resident Evil game for Miss Click. Maybe that'll be the works. Maybe
Resident Evil guided.
Resident Evil Quick version.
This is a big deal. this is a big deal because Shantae has been a game that's been very expensive over the years. So it was on the 3DS, I think, but it's cool to see it go to the Switch as like a big time release here. So
absolutely. Cool. And I've seen people tweet, their Shantae collection on the Switch because all the games are out now for the Switch, which is really cool. So it's good to see finally that whole set of games available on one system, and the Switch is obviously the best place for it.
Very, very underappreciated series that more people should try. So
I've never played any of them ever.
It's a very good game. Very good 2D platform.
I definitely want to try it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely worth the $10 for this one. Just the amount of gameplay and value you get out of it is very, very good.
I'll definitely show my support.
This was from the Game Boy. This was the Game Boy Color release from back in the day. That's like $100 some odd on eBay right now.
Oh, so, it's more than that. Yeah, it's like $500.
I stopped even looking after a little while. I was like, I'm never gonna get this game. So
I know Limited Run. I wasn't involved in this, but they're doing reprints of the cartridge, the actual physical cartridge for the Game Boy, and I think they're shipping out as well. So if you don't want to spend the dollars on an original Game Boy Color cartridge, you can get those limited run ones. But I think they've already printed those anyway, so you might not be able to get one of those as well. So, but
check out Shantae this week, April 22nd, $10 eShop. Go check it out. And then we'll keep an eye on MVG, see what else he has coming up and everything. I think that's it's cool to see get that game out, MVG. So looking forward to what's next for you on there. Then I'll go through some of the super chats as we finish up here. Also take a look at Streamlabs and we'll do some of our outros. Smoke says, when all the PS3s eventually go extinct and don't work anymore, will PS3 games be worth more or less? Will the games be worth more or less?
I mean, the price of games just seems to go up all the time. So I don't know.
I would like to think by then emulation of the PS3 would evolve so much that it'd be very easy to just play them on your PC, and just having the physical game is just that, sense of, I own the game, I'm playing a backup or, something like that. So, I mean, PS3 emulation's already been moving along pretty well. So, Zaire Miller, do you think Retro will release a game before Metroid Prime 4 after 7 years? Do we think Retro will release a game? Maybe.
Would that go over well?
Let's say Retro did the work on Metroid Prime Trilogy. Does that count? Does that count as a release from them?
Technically, yes, sort of, but yeah. That's stretching it for
original game. No, I don't think so. I think Prime 4 is their next original game, but I mean, Prime Trilogy, that's a release. Someone had to port it. Lala says, will Nintendo acknowledge 20th anniversary of GameCube this fall? How would you want them to celebrate it? Nate, Yankees thoughts? Are the Yankees bad this year, Nate?
The Yankees, their pitching staff isn't bad. They're just not getting enough quality innings from their starters. They're going to the bullpen too much. But hitting is atrocious. Nobody is hitting well. DJ LeMahieu's, I think his batting average after today is like 286 for a leadoff man. You need that way up in the 300s, especially this early in the season. Stanton couldn't hit a beach ball with a fucking canoe as a bat. Nobody on the team can hit. Sanchez still can't hit. The best thing that happened to him this season was he got hit in the hand by a foul ball.
Oh my God.
That's the best thing that happened to him was that?
Yeah. Gleyber Torres all of a sudden. Yeah, Gleyber Torres can't field anymore. Judge is doing typical Judge things. He's striking out, but he's still getting consistent hits. No, their offense is just a disaster. They cannot hit the ball. They're losing games 2-1 because they're striking out 12 times. They're making Tampa Bay look like gods, and it's ridiculous. Aaron Boone, George Steinbrenner is going to resurrect from the dead, and he's going to fire Aaron Boone and choke out Brian Cashman. They need some fear in the team. They're way too relaxed, and it falls on Aaron Boone. He's not a frightening manager. He has to have a fire under his ass. The Steinbrenners have to be like you. If you're 10 games below 500 come June, you're fired. Something has to happen with the team. They have no.
They don't do it. Get Nate in there. Get him in New York.
No, I feel like Willie Martin. Yankee fans are crazy, man. Look at this guy.
Yeah.
If they don't start hitting, everybody start going He's out here doing. How dare him? He's not hitting nothing. Calm down.
Fired people over there. They're like, they're like another 150 left. And you're already just firing people on the team.
Very bad start. They're using the bullpen way too much, and the bullpen is mostly lights out. Their ERA is amazing coming from the bullpen, but the starting pitching is like, oh, we can give you 4 good innings. You can't go to your bullpen for 5. You have to get 6 quality innings from your starter. You can't lean on Garrett Cole for everything. Kluber he's not doing bad, but he doesn't have velocity, so he has to rely more on location, and he just doesn't have it behind him right now. Jermaine was already sent back to the minors after 2 starts because he was terrible. Their starting pitching, it's not awful, but they need better innings. Hitting has to come through. They'll score 10 runs in a game, and then 5 straight games after that, they'll be like, we scored once and we have 3 hits. This lineup has power.
I like
Stanton cannot hit. He hits a home run or he strikes out 4 times.
I like that the secret to this team's success is going to be hidden in a video game podcast online that no one on the team's ever going to see. Like, just that idea.
All we know, someone on that team is listening. And if you are listening, listen, Glaber.
The coach is sitting there like,
head out of your ass and field that ball and learn to hit.
Because just send it to the Yankees on Twitter.
I came here for F-Zero talk, and now I'm going to turn my team around.
Here's what we're gonna do. I got some extra copies of Ken Griffey Jr.'s Reality Baseball. You know, Ken Griffey Jr.'s Baseball. We're gonna send it over to them. We're gonna get the reality back going. Bam! Yankees gonna learn how to hit. Let's go.
This super chat brings up a good point. Yeah, in '98 they did start really rough. They started the season, I think, 0-4, and they went on to win 120 games. So, yeah, they can turn it around. I just don't believe the Boone era Yankees are going to have that turnaround that you had under Joe Torre. Joe Torre was a fierce manager.
No, Joe Torre.
Joe Torre. Aaron Boone is like, hey guys,
don't bait him, Jordan. Don't bait him.
Okay. We have super tests still to go through here, and I got to check stream.
Baseball is my passion.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Design is my passion.
And I'll be the show next week on Game Pass.
There you go. Couch Multiplayer says, does the Switch and Xbox Series X have CMOS problems?
No.
I don't think the Switch does. I don't know about the Xbox internet just set the thing up.
Yeah, the Switch does not. The Xbox doesn't, but you have to connect to the internet to activate the Xbox before you can play games. So I do wonder what happens, after Xbox Live will go away, whenever that will be. I mean, it could be 20 years, but it does remain to be seen. But there's no CMOS problems with those systems.
Yeah, I think the question is obviously going to come up now a lot with every system just about after what's been found with the PlayStation. So
yep.
Couch Multiplayer says, what new Switch indie game you most excited for? I can't wait for Braids, Spelunky 1 and 2, Turtles, Alex Kidd, Fighting X Layer, and Soar for DLC. Streets of Rage 4 DLC. Turtles is probably the big one I'm looking at right now. Yep. Trip says, anyone on the podcast own Dogecoin?
Sure.
I'm holding a little bit. Yeah. Not much. Just play money.
Oh, I have Dogecoin, absolutely.
Yeah.
I support Doge. Couch Multiplayer says, have you seen the new mods lately for Double Dash? I have not.
Nah?
I'd like to.
Double Dash.
I love Double Dash.
I'd love to see them.
There are new mods for it. Interesting. Look into that.
Remake that.
Where says some type of PS1, 2, 3 adapter for PS5. I don't think Jim Ryan's going to do that. Well, it says Breath of the Wild on Xbox Game Pass leading up to Breath of the Wild 2 launch. I'm going to go with probably not. Shaitan says, are 2DS, 3DS region free?
No, 3DS.
No, they are not region free, but you can modify a 3DS or a 2DS and make it region free. And I made a video on it, so check out my channel.
There you go.
I was about to say, is there a video?
There is a video.
I hate that. I cannot. If there's one thing I cannot stand is freaking region locking. I hate.
Yeah.
Such a dumb concept.
Really hate. Yeah, it really is. Especially because the DS wasn't region locked.
Yeah.
JT Blue says, when will John bring back the hammer? I don't know, maybe at some point. Maybe a million subscribers or something. He'll bring it back then.
Probably have to upgrade it first. It'll be good.
Yeah, Where says, Sephiroth ruins Smash. You got me triggered.
What?
Not even close.
Nintendo Power says a Smash reveal with Master Chief and Samus could be really cool, as well as a Monty tribute. Now I really want it to happen.
Monty, yeah. That'd be sweet.
Trip and Fall says hardware pushers question. What game pushed the Neo Geo AES to its absolute limits?
Ooh.
I did not have a Neo Geo AES. So
that's a good question. I mean, one of the Metal Slugs,
yeah.
I would say, because just the amount of sprite animations that were going on at the same time. You
feel the slowdown. It's so good.
Yeah, I mean, there is legit slowdown in those games because, I mean, there's just so much going on. Good question, though, and yeah, I may look into that a little more, but the obvious answer is Metal Slug 2 or Metal Slug 3, I think.
And David says Ring Fit is probably the best selling current Nintendo IP not in Smash yet.
I mean, that's not wrong.
Yeah, maybe that'll be one of the characters.
Ring Fit person.
That'd be an interesting day on the internet to see how that goes over.
I mean,
that would be
the trainer could be there. So
yeah,
it's just
that would actually be a dope character, though.
It's just
like,
gonna be the
like
Labo robot. It's just gonna be the Labo robot.
Oh,
Tommy says one polarizing game winning 7 Game Awards, not what I call a pretty fun night. You lost lots of respect for me when you bowed down to the Game Awards incompetence and excuse for a jury.
What?
I don't know which one that's for. Oh, I guess that's for The Last of Us Part 2, right?
What?
I don't
Some
know.
context here.
Not sure.
Moving on. Sandberg says arms and legs will be a thing. Strawman says I don't think Nintendo has ever made two
I'm
Mario
putting
Kart
that on a
for
shirt. That's
console.
Arms and legs ain't a
will
thing
be
for
a thing.
Rayman.
I don't think Nintendo has ever made 2 Mario Karts for the same console because, like you said, it's a system seller. Why not save 9 for next gen? I guess they haven't had 2 Mario Karts on one system, have they?
Next gen or next revision?
It doesn't. Here's the reason why it doesn't make sense for next gen. Why limit your base of people that are going to buy the game? You've built up this huge. In my opinion, if anything, it'd be a dual gen type of thing.
Well, yeah, like do it towards the end when the new software's coming out. Yeah,
but putting it on just next gen, I think that'd be a really dumb idea. I don't think that'd be a good idea at all, considering the install base right now. But that's just what I think. You know, this is me.
Ross says, Panago is only in Canada, but Panago is best pizza chain. Their tropical Hawaiian will convert pineapple haters to like it. It's the sweet sauce. Black Spidey with no message here. Thanks, Black Spidey. Jungle Zone says, when do you think the 3DS Wii U eShop will close? Ooh, that might be soon, actually. That might be a year and a half to 2 years, maybe.
I mean, they won't be disrespectful like Sony was with the Vita. They'll give about 12 months, I would say, which is totally fine, I think.
Juan says opinions on the SM30 Pro 2. It is a good controller.
Yeah, it's really good.
I saw Evan post up on Twitter the other day that he had picked one up, and I figured you would like it. It's good so far for you, Evan?
Yeah, the only thing is for me at least, the analog sticks feel kind of small, but like it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, it's the ones. It should be the same ones I think from the PS4 controller. I think they use the same analogs, like the same caps. Is it?
No, it's definitely smaller. It's definitely smaller.
The analog sticks are good on. I like the D-pad's very good on it.
Oh hell yeah, the D-pad's amazing. I love the under buttons, and it's easy to program on the phone. I've been doing that.
Yep. HB says, what UI feature from a previous Nintendo console would you like to see on the Switch, such as eShop music, startup screens, themes? I think most people just want folders just to be able to organize the ridiculous amount of games that are being picked up on the Switch right now. But that's me.
Folders.
Some kind of organization on it. Although that eShop music could be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Filthy Casual says, I just want to thank you all for the info and entertainment you give to us. I picked up the Spawncast 200 edition color hoodie and t-shirt. I love them.
Woo!
Nice. Filthy Casual. Jose says, will Final Fantasy VII Remake come to Xbox? Yes.
Eventually. One day.
Yeah, eventually. Not in the immediate.
J2 Blue says, hot take, Insomniac over Naughty Dog.
I mean, we got Spyro from it, so yeah.
You know what?
Wow.
I'm gonna go with that.
I guess it's a hot take, but I don't think it's a hot. Yeah, I don't think that's too controversial considering Spider-Man and Ratchet and Clank. I mean, those are two.
I mean,
I'm gonna go with that just because I feel like their outputs better, especially like right now. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
At least they experimented a little more within the last gen. We got a Sunset Overdrive, so I don't know. I feel the creativity.
Yeah, I mean they just obviously just got purchased by Sony, so we'll see how things go this generation for them. But I think so far they've been off to a pretty good start. So yeah, I think right now Insomniac over Naughty Dog for me. Jesse says, "Hey MVG, I heard you may know how to get games off the dead Wii shop, and was hoping you could tell us. I want to try to get a legit Mew from it."
I mean, the entire Wii shop has been archived and is available on archive.org. If you just search for it, you'll find it. So you have a couple of different options. Obviously, if you have a modded Wii, you can play those games. You can install. They're called WAD files. You can install those back onto your Wii and they just come up as like Wii channels, and then you can play them. Or if you don't want to mess around with that, just download Dolphin, because all those games will run on Dolphin straight up. So yeah, just do some Googling, you'll find them.
Cool. Steve says, anyone play the Untitled Goose Game like Rain on your parade? So much fun to be a jerk. My favorite levels so far are the Office and Doom ones. I've not played that. Rain on your parade. Interesting. Juice Man Vaughn says, speaking of racing games that's been MIA, what happened to Ridge Racer?
Ridge Racer.
That's a good question. I don't know.
There was a new one in development that I think I canceled.
Well, there you go.
That was the rumor that there was a new one that potentially could come to Switch, but got canceled.
Yes.
John says, I believe Metroid Prime 4 needs a Halo-like multiplayer mode to sell Mario Kart numbers. I wouldn't mind a good multiplayer mode for it. I think that'd be cool.
So Metroid Prime needs to sell Mario Kart numbers?
Needs a Halo-like multiplayer to sell Mario Kart numbers. Animal Crossing is probably not going to sell Mario Kart numbers, so I don't think we just need Metroid Prime 4 to get to being a solid, if it gets to 4 million, will we consider that successful for it? I would.
Yeah, don't expect Mario Kart what?
Yeah,
we're going to take a franchise that can barely sell 1.5 million, maybe 2 million to 30.
If it can touch 4 million units, I feel like that would be a success over. I think they're look at that and say, you know what, that okay, that works.
Even 3 million, like if you do 3 million quickly, not where it takes all freaking gen, but like 3 million in like a year or something like that, I think would even be a success. Like that would be pretty good. That would be solid for that.
We saw what happened with the latest Luigi's Mansion, so you never know. It could happen. Who did this from? Oh gosh, 9 of 13 says, yeah, the Yankees suck right now. Worst record at the moment, but it was the same in '98. Look what happened in '98. Best record ever.
Yeah, and they won the World Series that year. It was a good year for the Yankees.
There you go.
I think they played. I think that World Series was that the Padres or was the Subway Series?
You tell me.
Padres. Don't get mad because your San Francisco 49ers haven't won a damn thing since Joe Montana.
Yeah, but
no, wrong. I watched 94. Steve Young, wrong. And he set the record for the most touchdowns in the Super Bowl.
Hold on. I like how Jordan's up here like this, like the sports, but then he rolls into Discord like, you guys ready for Jake Paul?
Are you saying what Jake Paul's doing is sports right now?
No.
I just like boxing, I don't know.
Wait until the summer fringe when the Euro Cup begins.
Oh yeah.
I'll take my absence. I'll take a sabbatical.
Hell no, you got to watch Ronaldo lead Portugal to a repeat.
Oh, I can't wait. I've been talking about that all year.
You know what? Pepe's going to come and kick your ass. Pepe's going to headbutt you.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
Let's go over. I still have some super chats. I'll check Streamlabs as well, just a couple. Let's go around here and do some outros while I'm doing that. Nakat, thanks for joining us tonight. Our guest link is down in the description. Everyone, you go check out the channel. You want to let everyone know where they can find you though, and what you're doing over there.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm just making variety content, pretty much gaming and anime, and then I usually stream on twitch.tv/Nakat, so you can also catch me there. Thank you for having me on, by the way. Like a lot of your channels, I watch you guys among other channels as well. So it was nice to actually be able to chill on the call with you guys and discuss some games. Like it really means a lot to me. Thank you.
Well, thanks for taking the time to join us. We appreciate it. Let me go over there to Dreamlab. Liam says, why doesn't Jeff Keighley drop the summer from the name and just call it Game Fest? We could market it all year, and then for the people who just want the Game Awards to be an award show, he could use the reveals and make a Game Fest show and have both.
Not a bad idea.
He could even make it a whole year thing leading up to the Game Awards as like the big finale, technically. I mean, that's not a bad idea, actually, because we have like a bunch of different PAX, conventions as an example. So they have a bunch of events. Like Jeff Keighley could do something like that and just lead up to his big Game Awards show as the end. Miguel says, thank you for giving me my favorite Saturday podcast. Quick questions. How's your Series S holding up? I'm also getting my Xbox Series S tomorrow from GameStop. Should I return it, wait for the Series X? I think MVG probably uses his Series S more than me because I usually just default to the Series X. But how's yours been holding up, MVG?
It's holding up pretty well. I will say that obviously disk management is something that really plays a part in every time I have to download something. But I mean, other than that, it's fine. Like, it's a great system and it's pretty powerful for $299, so I have no complaints.
Okay, what about let's go over to OJ. Where can everyone find you?
Yeah, find me right here on YouTube. I stream pretty much daily and also have edited content, cover Nintendo, JRPGs, all that type of stuff. And we laugh at a bunch of stuff and have fun. So check out the channel if you can. Thanks for having me on once again. Nikat's not good at Smash Brothers. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say here.
Yo, we got your stream.
Very average.
How bad I am. Let's play on your stream.
Very average player. What'd you say, Nikat?
Fight.
Did you say something?
Play on your stream, man.
Take it to the streets of the internet.
I can't hear you, Nikat.
Yeah, I bet.
Fight. Probably more entertaining than Jake Paul.
More real than Jake Paul.
This one's from David for OJ. Are the Trails in the Sky sequels worth playing? A couple of YouTubers told me they were optional games. I don't know if you're familiar with the Trails series as much.
I'm a little familiar with it. I mean, really, it's going to be up to you, man. I always tell people, like, look at the game. Stop just taking people's word for it. Like, they can say something, but actually go to the game, look at the gameplay, and see it's something that you will want. Because people will always say one thing, and it's usually not it. So make sure you check the gameplay out yourself and then make that determination and pair it with people's words. Because a lot of times it doesn't match when they just say something. So go look at the gameplay yourself and make that decision.
Okay, and Ilya says, considering GameCube prices are going up, is now a good time for GBA collecting? I mean, I think any time is a good time for GBA collecting. I don't know if they're just going to start skyrocketing in price, but it's a good collection to start doing, especially if you have a GameCube. Because, well, I mean, Jordan, you don't have the Game Boy disc, but you can play the Game Boy games on there, which is nice. Johnny says, do you think Blue Point is working on a Metal Gear Solid remake? I hope so.
That'd be nice.
Hearted says, question for OJ, are there any good video games to recommend for a JoJo fan? My sister loves the show and was wondering if there were any games of it. There's two really good JoJo games. There's one that's just called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure on the Dreamcast, but it's very expensive, but it's there for you. And then the other one that's a lot more accessible, you need to hurry up and go get it. It's on the PS3. It's called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle. That one to me is my favorite one. It's very good, it has tons of characters, and it's like a 2D fighting game, has supers. There's a lot of broken stuff in it, but it's just fun. There's a story mode and all that for each character. Graphics are fantastic. So go get it. It's $30, and the PS3 store is shutting down soon. So if I was you, I would go pick it up right now on the PS3. Digital. Okay. Aaron says, if the Wii U eShop goes away, how will we mod it? Is that how it's being modded right now? MVG is through the eShop. Yeah. There's still ways to get around that, as far as I know. So I don't think it's going to be a showstopper for that. David says, I think a JoJo's fan would find much to love in the Yakuza games. Yeah, there's similar type of humor and just like craziness. So yeah, there's definitely some similarities between the two. I'm not big on Yakuza, but yeah, I can see that from what I've watched and the reviews and stuff like that. Miss Click, where can everyone find you? You want to let everyone know? Yeah, thanks for having me. You can find me here on YouTube as Miss Click Gaming. My 100,000 Ask Me Anything video was up. Thanks to everybody who did submit questions. That was fun. That was a good episode. I watched that. That was fun. Did you like it? Yeah, you guys are funny. I like Fringe's cameos in there.
Jordan's editing literally he's a genius. So please, if anything, go watch it to support Jordan.
All you.
He's phenomenal. Other than that, you can find me on twitch.tv/misclick_live. I'm live almost every day except Sunday. We've been playing a lot of Monster Hunter lately, been doing like hunts and raids with y'all. So it's been really, really fun and enjoying that. And then obviously, I guess eventually I'll start Resident Evil. So at least make sure you have notifications from me so you'll know when we do go live with that. Other than that, Instagram and Twitter, misclick.
That'll be fun. Irvin says, do you guys remember and like Jet Force Gemini for the N64? I'd like to see something like that come back for the Switch.
I'd like Jet Force.
That would be
good.
Does Microsoft own Jet Force Gemini?
They do.
Yes.
They do. Yeah.
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah,
Microsoft should do something with it.
Didn't Phil Spencer have a Switch on his?
Wait a minute. It's all coming together. That's got to be Jet Force Gemini. Couch says, MVG, I sent you a Facebook message. Respect your work.
Thank you. I'll check out my Facebook. I'm very, very lazy with Facebook messages, but I'll check it out.
Facebook. Like, don't feel bad about that.
9 of 13 says, thanks, Spawn. You're only the second to read my name right. Wood one time literally spelled it out. He doesn't know Roman numerals. All right, there we go. Psycho Pie says, good job, everyone. Is OJ coming next week? That was $5.
Technically, I'm not going to answer because Canadian money, it's worth less. So I'm not answering that question from Psycho Pie.
Oh my God.
Find out.
Wait, worth less or worthless?
Worth less. I'll still take it from Psycho.
TJ says, have any of you all played the Trail series? And if so, what do you think? I have not got into the Trail series really because I know how much time it's going to take to go through them. Because there was another comment here, or here it is. Okay. 9 of 13 said Trails of Cold Steel 1 through 4 is awesome and ties in directly with Trails in the Sky and the 2 Crossbelt games never released in the West. Some of those games are literally like 70, 80 hour games. Yep. And you want to play them like they have 1 through 4. You want to play them literally 1 through 4. This one's the entire Trails series is fully chronological. Cold Steel is a separate series and a good jumping on point, but the games are one continuous story. That's from Wolverine 101. Like the amount of time I have to imagine going through all of those games so everything makes sense is amazing. Like it's pretty serious. So that's the reason I haven't really started it yet.
They are fantastic games though.
I feel like that would be a good game if I had an entire summer or something. You know what? That might be the series I get into in retirement. There we go. That makes sense. That makes sense. It'll work fine. Oh wait, some of those games are on the PS4. Well,
now you're screwed.
There's that idea.
Better hope for some.
Bring them all to the
HD
Switch.
Re-release in 20 years.
I think some of them are on the PS3. I should basically buy them now though if they're on the PS3 because it's like they're going to be hundreds of dollars by then. All right. And Venicera says, thank you, Spawncast. Amazing show as always. MVG, where can everyone find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Modern Vintage G and on YouTube at Modern Vintage Gamer. I have a Monday video coming out, and that's about it. Check out Shantae on the 22nd, coming to the eShop as mentioned. And thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, check out Shantae. What about Nate? Where can everyone find you?
I mean, on YouTube at Nate the Hate. I'm sure MVG and I will have an episode or 2 in the coming week. We took last week off. Needed to rest our minds.
I mean, nothing even happened last week.
Nothing that we felt needed to be covered. But yeah, we'll have maybe 2 episodes in the coming week. We are working to have special guests coming on in the near future. I'm sure some people have seen on Twitter that Jason Schreier is open to coming on Nate the Hate. So once we find a good topic that suits his specialties, we will have Jason join us for a discussion in the coming weeks or months.
All right. That'll be interesting. And Jordan.
Yeah, you can find me Jordan Fringe on YouTube. Like I said, I'm working on some stuff. Hopefully by the end of the month, let's just start having new stuff come out. And yeah, that's about it.
Awesome. And Evan, what about you? You want to let everyone know?
Twitter, Kimmerix Project, where I'll usually announce that I'm going live on Twitch. Also, Kimmerix Project. This week, we'll probably be doing Genshin stuff, getting ready for 1.5 to come out. But we'll also be playing Deep Rock Galactic, and I might try to get further in GTFO. before they do the next rundown at the end of the month and basically get rid of all the progress I've done so far. So yeah.
All right, sounds good. Thanks everyone for joining us tonight for the Spawncast. We'll be back next Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. We'll see everyone then.
Bye.